Certainty of death, small chance of success. What are we waiting for?
Fellas, I feel this is my lucky day.
Brilliant.
Hey, and welcome to another episode of Rankin. This is going to be a fun window. We're talking about top 12 opening scenes from 2010's movies. I've got a great panel here. We've got Austin here. Austin, how's it going?
Yeah, no, it's gonna be a fun topic. I thought it was pretty unique when I went to, and this is one that you could do for other decades down the line if you wanted to, pretty easily, and could make for a fun, interesting topic. So not necessarily, the whole movie, although it could be part of a greater movie. But yeah, these opening scenes, let's talk about them. I'm excited.
We've also got Jonathan Carroll here. Jonathan, how's it going?
Fantastic. Yeah, this was a challenge. This was a challenge compared to other decades because, in my opinion, I think they just lack a little memorable luster to them compared to other decades. Like, Austin's wearing one. In my opinion, it has one of the funniest, greatest openings, in my opinion. But about 3 or 4 of them are like in that top caliber, and the others, we'll see. We'll discuss them.
His camera's turned off, but we've also got Chad Webb here. Chad, how's it going?
Chad?
He's probably away. He's probably might be away from his computer as well. And we will, we will have one more person joining us momentarily. Jordan Anderson is coming as well, but
There
Chad
he
is here. Chad, how's it going?
Hey, it's going great, guys. I joined this topic because I was like, this sounds like a really interesting topic. Like, just watch the opening scenes and see if anything like sticks out. So I'm really excited to.
Well, hopefully this topic has better openings than your just lackluster opening you just had for your own intro just now, not being there when being asked to. So hopefully it's better than that.
Maybe Chad's the killer. I don't know.
Yeah.
But with that, how Rankin works, we're going to go around and nominate a movie you think has a memorable opening scene and belongs on a top 12 list, and then everyone else will say yes or no to it. Just for now, because there are only 4 people, it will come down to the other 3 people on the panel. It will make sense, I think. But Austin, what is the first thing you're going to bring up?
Yeah, sometimes use that first one to kind of maybe get a personal one, but one that I think is certainly up to snuff for the 2010s. It's a movie I've always defended and said has aged very well in this era of somewhat lackluster movies lately in this genre. I'm going to go with the opening scene of Batman v Superman: Dawn of Justice, giving you the alternate opening or alternate look at the Man of Steel Battle of Metropolis from the Bruce Wayne perspective. So you get this whole thing starting in 2013. Bruce Wayne lands on his helicopter and is heading towards his facility in Metropolis. And you get to see everything from the ground level that he sees with them fighting in the air, the buildings coming down. He's driving around, as the pulse thing is going off, destroying streets, trying to avoid all that. And then you get Bruce running into rubble to save the little girl, save some people on the way. And you get that great stare from Affleck. Perfectly sets up his character as Bruce Wayne and as Batman in this universe. And it was a genius way to do it with showing where he was in the middle of all this chaos during the events of Man of Steel. So I think it's a perfect kind of reversal of a scene that we've seen in other movies in the past, but getting that alternate perspective and really setting up his character in this universe. So I think it's one that I didn't see on a lot of lists, but I personally think is a hell of an opening to a movie. No matter what you think of the rest of the movie, I think that opening is incredible and really puts another perspective on Man of Steel, another movie I like a lot. So I'm going to start with Batman v Superman.
Jonathan, what do you say about Batman v Superman?
Yeah, it is a good opening. It is a good opening, despite of what I think of the movie, like you said. Yeah, this is gonna be tough to see if I agree or disagree with any of the movies that you'll come up with, because it's really tough to open a movie really well and then you're engaged for the rest of the movie. And it did engage me for the rest of the movie. Unfortunately, it went slowly, to the bottom of the barrel there. But It's a good opening. I'm afraid to say no to this because I have a lot more. I have a lot of better openings than that one, and I think you alluded to one already, and that I think is better than this. But it's a good one. It's a good nomination. But no.
Chad, what do you say about Batman v Superman?
Yeah, I think I'm on the same kind of wavelength as Jonathan. It's just one that I haven't revisited in a long time. And although I do respect the idea of it being a great opening within a maybe not so great movie, is actually really cool because I like that idea that you can really open something strong and then maybe it fizzles out later, but that opening is still great. And that's exactly what we're talking about now, because so many movies that I wanted to put on my list, I was like, well, this is a great movie. And then I was like, but is this just a great whole movie, or is the opening particularly really special? And I love the love for Batman v Superman here, but I'm on the same wavelength as Jonathan, where I have so many on my list. I think one somebody else brings up has to really, really make me go, "Oh my God, why didn't I put that on my list?" For me to say yes. So I'll give it a slight no.
But just coming in at the nick of time, we've got Jordan.
Hey,
but
what's up,
Jordan,
guys?
what do you say about
Naturally late
Batman v
as always,
Superman?
but yeah, yeah. So I kind of misunderstood the assignment to start. I mean, I half understood it. So I made a list of opening scenes, but then I didn't realize we're only doing 2010s. But I was able to narrow it down to a good amount, but not as many as I'd probably like to have. And I'm probably more willing to say yes to some of these, just because there's probably going to be quite a bit I just didn't think about. And that Batman v Superman's opening scene is awesome. Yeah, you just get introduced to Metropolis in like a whole new way, and you get to see these characters. And despite what the movie overall is, we're only talking opening scenes here. So if you're talking you're just looking at the opening scene, it's really freaking cool. And yeah, I think for me, I'd say yes to that one. It's not on my list personally. I forgot about it, but it's a yes for me, though.
Yeah, this is one that that I didn't think about at time, but it's one that as soon as Austin was talking about, I instantly remembered as well, because like it is really great to see just see the whole ending of Man of Steel from a different perspective, and it gives you a bit of understanding for why Batman may not trust this new superhero that's in town and all that. So yeah, it's gonna be yes for me as well. So
Oh,
Batman
let's go, baby. That's
Yeah.
right.
Is gonna
Let's
make the
go.
list.
Let's go.
Jonathan,
Let's
what
do it.
is the
Mhm.
first one you're gonna bring up?
Well, I'm not going to talk about Man of Steel because that was the opening I was going to bring up. So yeah, I wanted some variety in the list. So let's go from not a good movie but a great opening, I'll say that, to a great opening to a great movie. And I'll just set it up, and it's about basically two people talking at a bar, a loud crowded bar.
Yep.
One is very arrogant and the other one is sympathetic towards this person. And once they're a couple, and then the end of the scene, they're adrift. They break up. And I'm talking about the scene at the pub in The Social Network. I think that opening scene of The Social Network lays the foundation of this whole film as to what kind of character Mark Zuckerberg is. He's arrogant, but he's also determined to be somebody. He'll be an a-hole, according to Rooney Mara's character. Yeah, Rooney Mara's character. I think her name was Erica. But but it cements the groundwork for the whole movie, and it circles right back to the ending in an ingenious way, in an ingenious fashion, with the screenplay by Aaron Sorkin. And it is that dialogue from Sorkin's screenplay that makes it go. And it's a great opening to one of the greatest movies of the 2010s, probably the 21st century for sure. The opening scene of The Social Network.
Chad, what do you say about the opening of The Social Network?
Yeah, I rewatched the opening scene for this and threw it on my list because I do think it's also incredible. I was going to bring up that I think it is the Aaron Sorkin's writing that really just makes it so enthralling and just, really introduces us to that character in the very first scene, just like, who is this guy? And then you just get to see him like belittle her throughout the dialogue, and then just like, yeah, see who your main character is. He's a piece of shit, and then she's like, fuck you, I'm leaving. Especially when she's like, we can just be friends, and he's like, I don't want to be friends. She's like, I was just being nice. Go fuck yourself. So yeah, it's not big, it's not anything like huge. It's just a small scene, but like the power of the dialogue, I think, really, really works, and the performances too. So, and that's what the movie is just a lot of people talking, and yet it's so enthralling to watch. So, yeah, Social Network opening rules. I say yes.
Jordan, what do you say about the Social Network opening?
So I love the Social Network. I think that it's an incredible movie. I love like the dialogue from Aaron Sorkin, and it's in my top 64 movies of all time, and that movie is really, really good. But when I think of opening scenes, I just think of something that just like really, really just grabs you and just really sets like a tone, like, okay, we're in for a ride here. This is going to be really awesome. It doesn't have to necessarily be some kind of like action scene, or like it can be something subtle and or even comedic or horror or like whatever. But I just think that like the opening scene just kind of matches, almost like the movie's so good all the way through. It just matches everything scene for scene all the way through the movie, to the point where like it just doesn't really stand out to me like that much above other stuff. So I'll probably give it a no, I think.
Yeah, I mean, I do really enjoy the Social Network. I think it's great. And just to counter a little bit of what Jordan said, I think this opening scene kind of does set the tone, because it shows you what kind of a person Mark Zuckerberg is, and how you're going to expect sort of him to react to certain things like down the line. But it's also one of those ones that like I had to actually, when I saw this on few lists, I had to sort of watch it just to, it's fine. Like personally, I would give this a slight no as well. But Austin, what do you say about the opening scene from Social Network?
Interesting. Now the tables are turned to me for Chad and Jonathan saying yes to something, and now I have the power. But you guys are in luck because I'm going to say yes because it's on my list because I love this opening scene because it's one of the great scenes of all time, and I love this scene and I love this opening to this movie because I can have stuff that's not action packed and whatnot. I was just throwing out one of my favorite ones. But the great thing about the scene is it does set the pace, and again, gives you what you're going to get for the rest of the movie with the fast paced dialogue. Aaron Sorkin's going to drop you in on these characters. He's going to make you sit up and pay attention. I remember watching this in the theater and going, "Oh shit, I'm missing important information. Like I need to pay attention." And we're going to just drop you in on that. It sets up who Mark Zuckerberg is as a person in a brilliant piece of 5-minute dialogue and whatnot. I remember this was like an 11-page monologue or something in the actual script, things like that they had to kind of do like 100 times. Like it was something insane like that. But yeah, it gives you a snapshot of exactly what you're going to get for the rest of the movie. And I think it's absolutely fantastic. And it's a great way to just set the pace. So, and that's something that a great opening scene you do is set the pace for the tone of your movie and your characters. So I'm going to give it a yes. So you guys are in luck.
So, yeah, Social Network is going to make the list. Chad, what is the first? Chad, what's the first movie you're going to nominate?
You're going to have to nominate more superhero movies if Jordan's going to say yes.
True.
Well,
first I wanted
wait
to
till you
say,
see my list.
First, I wanted to say, trust me, Austin, it wasn't, you can be vindictive all you want, but it wasn't personal when I said no to the first choice. But yeah, going on, I don't know if this is one everyone will like, but I love it. I'm a big fan of the Cornetto trilogy, so I'm going to nominate The World's End. This one I think is such an incredible one. I think it like showcases the talents of Edgar Wright. We were all wowed in 2004 with Shaun of the Dead. fell in love with Hot Fuzz, and then The World's End came out. I don't think The World's End gets as much love as it deserves. I think it's a really mature movie that just shows Edgar progress as a director. But the opening scene, I think, is pretty incredible because we go back to the past. We have a guy telling the story about this one night that he had with his friends that was just so incredible. He's like telling everybody about his friends and, how they all met and his days at school and how it's all kind of boring. But, they had that one incredible night just going through each pub and just saying, got really nutty when we hit this pub and stuff. And then right after he's telling that whole story, and then he's like, I wish I would have watched the scene before, but it's life will never get as good as it was that night. And then it cuts to him at like a therapy group for alcoholics going, and it never did. And then it like kind of zooms up into the sky, just kind of right after that, where you're just like, whoa, okay. So this guy's kind of messed up. But I'm now interested to see where this goes and like what journey they're going to go on. And it's interesting to see all the parallels from that first scene to throughout the movie, where they're retreading a lot of that great night that he spent. So, I love this movie. I think this opening scene is such a great one to set up the rest of the film.
Jordan, what do you say about the opening scene to The World's End?
So I thought I'd be saying yes a lot more, but I'm kind of like, I don't know, because I'm just looking at like even things that I have on my list and just thinking of like what things I would want to say yes to. I mean, the movie's good, but it's just kind of, it does set up the movie, sure, but it's not anything that just gets me, just grabs me and be like, all right, I'm ready for this ride, and it's okay. Like, it's just like, it's a good scene, but it's just not quite like one that I would put as the best of the 2010s for an opening scene. So I'll probably give it a slight no. I mean, it's not a bad pick. I mean, I wouldn't be mad if it made it, but I'll say slight no.
Yeah, I like The World's End. I do think it's a good movie, and I mean, I had to just quickly like recalibrate myself for the opening, but yeah, it's a good opening. But I've got a different Edgar Wright movie I think that has a much better opening than this one on my list. So I'm for that. I'm saying. But Austin, what do you say about The World's End?
Yeah, Malcolm took the words out of my mouth. I think there's another Edgar Wright 2010s movie that has a much better opening scene. And I think the one Chad's referring to, well, it's good. I think Hot Fuzz does the concept better with the stuff with running down Nicholas Angel's achievements and him, running down his own stats and what he's accomplished and then getting reprimanded, by his superiors for being too good at his job. I think that kind of does that scenario and that kind of character setup better, which is why that one's like my favorite of the Cornettos. I like The World's End a lot. It's my second favorite of the Cornettos, but I don't think that opening is like super standout-ish. And yeah, the concept is better in Hot Fuzz, and that director did a better one in the same decade. So I'm going to say no.
Jonathan, what do you say about The World's End?
What Austin said. Yeah, it's like it's like perfectly said.
Ditto.
That's exactly what I was going to say.
Okay.
So
okay.
Let's save time. No, slightly no,
Okay.
but it's good. It's a good.
It's good. Yeah.
But Jordan, what is the first movie you're going to bring up?
Let me see my list. What superhero movie should I pick?
Yeah.
No, I'm actually not going to start with the superhero movie, although there's plenty of them that have great openings. But I'm going to go with one that's become one of my favorite action franchises of all time, faster than like almost any action franchise has. And I'm going to pick John Wick Chapter 3. So I just think that John Wick Chapter 3 has an absolutely incredible opening with we see at the end of the second one, they open the bounty for John Wick, but you don't really get into the crux of it. So then when John Wick Chapter 3 opened, you see the countdown, you see everything happening. You see him have this incredible fight with this big guy that's actually an NBA player. His name's like Boban Bogdanovic or something like that. I can't remember what the name is exactly, but he's in a library, just fighting him in a library, and then he kills him with literally a library book, just like slams it into his throat and just like bangs it in over and over and over again. He kills the guy, and then you see him trying to get help. He goes to the doctor trying to get help, but the doctor can only help him until the time runs out, and then his hands are tied and he can't do anything. And you see the like countdown happening over and over. They're like counting down, and it's like this big tense kind of thing that just really amps you up. You're like, oh my gosh, like this guy's screwed, because once the countdown down starts, or like when it like opens the bounty, then like everyone in the world that's part of this underground syndicate is going to be after him, and but also at the same time, like a John frickin' Wick. So like you wonder how he's going to fare, because like he can take on like damn near anyone. So like he's going to hold his own. You're in for a ride, and it's going to be just fight after fight. It's going to be great. So yeah, I think out of all the John Wick movies, John Wick 3 has the best opening. And like I think that's the coolest one out of all of them. So I'm going to go John Wick Chapter 3.
Yeah, this is it's been a while since I've seen the John Wick movies, to be honest. I might do a watch the franchise later this year, actually, but once again, I kind of quickly brought that up on YouTube and watched at least part of it, just to kind of familiarize myself with it. And yeah, I quite like. I think the John Wick franchise is one of those ones you could pick any of the movies, and you wouldn't really be wrong, because I think they all have a unique opening scene.
Yeah.
So, and I think this one is definitely really good in that. So I'm going to give a slight yes to John Wick 3.
I'll just say that I went back and watched them all. John Wick Chapter 3 had the best one to me. So anyway.
Jordan, you want to know what opening scene I was watching right before we went live? John Wick Chapter 3, because I wanted to be reminded, and because not that I had like completely forgotten about it, I just wanted to see the opening as far as like what the context was for it. And yeah, it's like the countdown, like 20 minutes before his bounty's about to go up. John Wick, excommunicado, 20 minutes, and he's constantly checking his watch, and and then the whole movie is just him basically thwarting off one person after another and all these threats and just on the run the whole movie. But yeah, it really does set the pace and keeps you on your toes and amps up the tension, and you really feel it with him. And then once the floodgates open up, it's kind of all bets are off. And but it's shot really well. They have that sequence where he's like looking around in Times Square. It's a great just shot of him in Times Square, around everybody, just kind of panicking a little bit. And then you get Jason Mantzoukas doing the little TikTok, Mr. Wick TikTok. It's great. So yeah, I'm gonna give it a slight yes. Yeah.
Jonathan, what do you say about John Wick Chapter 3?
Yeah, I had to look it up. The opening. I was afraid you're gonna say Chapter 2. I was like, no, no. But Chapter 3,
2 or 4 aren't really that great. Just 1 and 3 to me. But
yeah. But no, I had to look it up just to make sure. And the 3, yes, it has a great opening. Yeah, the countdown just sets it out with the whole movie, where it becomes chaos for the assassins to hunt down John Wick. And yeah, I forgot to put on my list, but I would say yes to it, because I think it is one of the best action opening scenes of a movie of the decade. So yeah, heck yeah, John Wick Chapter 3.
Chad, what do you say about John Wick Chapter 3?
Yeah, I mean, a John Wick had to be on this list, because I think they do all open really well. I'm actually on the same wavelength as Malcolm, where I think that they're all kind of great in their own way. And I especially watched Chapter 2 and Chapter 3 openings for this, because I was like, I think those are the two best. Because Chapter 1 is just really sad, and then Chapter 4, I think, is also
the 4 is just the thing where Lawrence Fishburne's saying, and here he comes, and then you cut to the desert, and it's a quick kill. There's not a whole lot going on in the opening of the movie.
Yeah.
That movie's amazing, but there's not a lot going on in that opening. It's kind of jumpy. So yeah,
that's why I was focusing on 2 and 3, because I couldn't remember which one I liked more. And actually, I kind of disagree a little bit. When I watched them both, I watched Chapter 3. I was like, this one's so good. And then I watched chapter 2 and I was like, oh, I love this one too. And I think I slightly went chapter 2 more, but now that I know how everyone feels and that chapter 3 is already going to make the list, I'm so happy that it's going to. I just love chapter 2 because it's like him trying to get his car back. He goes through so much shit to get his car back. Meanwhile, one guy is setting up the whole pencil thing, and then later we get to see him use the pencil, and we got to see it finally. I love chapter 2, but chapter 3, you guys set that up really well. I do love that library fight so much. It's so crazy, and the dude is so huge. And to see John Wick go up against a really huge guy is like really fun and like really, really wild. And for him to kill him with the library book, it's right next to the pencil. It's just a really cool way to kill someone. So don't kill people. But if you were, library book is a fun choice.
You were an assassin like that.
100% yes. Great job, Jordan.
So the third John Wick movie gets the
Thank
third
you.
spot on the list. Excellent work.
Yeah.
And
perfect.
just to quickly answer a question, just quickly answer a question for the chat one.
No.
It doesn't have to be before the main title. It just has to be the first actual scene we see in the movie.
The
Otherwise,
first big sequence or something.
Yeah,
It doesn't have to be like an
John-
opening.
Because chapter 3, the title appears and then there's the opening scene.
Exactly.
Yeah.
There's a lot of movies that happens like that.
So
Yeah.
I mean, if we're limiting ourselves to just that, then for the Star Wars, we just had to bring up the opening crawls. That's all.
now would have
Yeah.
required so much more research.
Oh yeah, way
More.
more research.
Oh,
yeah.
But anyway, moving on, it's on to me.
What would you
So-
like to nominate, Malcolm?
Yeah.
I got you
I
covered,
mean,
buddy.
I mean, you're giving Jordan shit about bringing up a superhero movie. I'm actually going to bring up.
No,
a superhero
I brought up a
Yeah.
superhero movie. I'm just fucking
Yeah.
with him.
Yeah.
I
Literally,
know.
I brought one up in my first one, of course.
But
We just knows
know.
half my 64 is like all superhero
I have a
movies.
64
Yeah.
superhero movie, so I'm sure there'll be some in there.
But this is one that kind of does set the tone for what to expect in the movie. I'm bringing up Avengers: Infinity War. Because like prior to Infinity War, like all we've sort of seen in from Thanos is just more like popping up in credit scenes. Like we never knew the extent of how brutal he was going to be. And while like arguably some of these like deaths of Loki and Heimdall, Loki, like it's timing by the alternate universe stuff for why he's still around, but ultimately it's like it showed that they weren't afraid to kill off characters, and and it kind of set the tone for what to expect in the movie with how brutal we're going to see Thanos actually being, and I just think it was a really interesting way to start off Infinity War, with just showing sort of, especially when you're starting off with Kenneth Branagh doing the whole Asgardian like distress call and all that, and then sort of leading into showing the destruction of the ship, and then him killing Heimdall and forcing Loki to give up the Tesseract and all that, and it definitely shows the brutality that we expect from Thanos when all we had seen from him, like sort of talking about doing it himself or putting on his glove and that, and post-credit scenes. But Austin, what do you say about Avengers: Infinity War?
Oh yeah, no, 100%. This is on my list. Not only is it my favorite MCU movie, but yeah, this is one of my favorite openings to any of the MCU movies. Yeah, you want to talk about immediately raising the stakes and getting them, putting the audience on their toes as far as anything can happen in this movie. I mean, Thanos comes right in, he kills Heimdall. He gets the stone. He kills Loki. He dispatches of Thor. He dispatches of Hulk. He dispatches of anybody in his way. He kills all the Asgardians on that ship. And you are immediately paying attention going, oh, this movie does not play around. Like, we're going to jump right into this, and we are going to set things to a whole new level and put the audience on their toes as to not know anything that's coming next. And of course, that would perfectly set up, basically the ending of this movie as well. As far as anything can happen, anybody can die, anything, anything can go down. And yeah, I love the kind of darker, superhero movies. That's just what I gravitate to. And yeah, this one perfectly sets that stage for the rest of the movie. So yeah, this is an enthusiastic yes for me for Infinity War.
Jonathan, what do you say about Avengers Infinity War?
Okay. Yes, it's a great opening. Now, it is my fault for researching so much of the Avengers movies even before it comes out that I knew it was going to be a darker tone. And if they hadn't delivered that opening scene and the rest of the movie, it would have been a failure by in itself. And they accomplished that. Now, it's a fantastic opening scene. It's just that I have many others before that are better in terms of movies. It's probably in terms of superhero openings, it's probably number 3 or 4. Because of how dark it really sets the standard for the rest of the movie. And like Austin said, it never plays it hand. It never goes it never Disneyfies itself. Let's just say that it's dark all the way through. So I'm gonna go a slight. I anticipate it may go through, but I'm gonna go a slight no. But I'm not gonna be mad that it does make the list. So it's fine.
Chad, what do you say about Avengers Infinity War?
Yeah, I'm on Jonathan's wavelength. I guess we might just be that way the whole time. I guess we'll see how this goes. I do also anticipate it's.
So, am I going to be the wild card that is the deciding factor all night? I think I am. I like this. I like where this is going. I like where this is going.
But I will say, am anticipating it's still going to make it, and I'm not super mad at it, but I'm just also kind of worried that this is just going to end up being an MCU superhero, not just MCU, but superhero list. And I'm like, that could be a different list. And, so I'm like, if we can only have one Edgar Wright, but then we're going to have 8 out of 12 superhero movies, I'm just I don't know. But I mean, I'm one to talk. I have 2 other superhero movies on my list. And so I'm not, I'm guilty.
I've only got 2 other ones on my potential list, Chad. So it's not going to be heavy for me.
And either. I'm not downing you or anyone else for bringing them up. If they're great scenes, they're great scenes, and that you can't really help it. If you love it, you love it. Throw it out there, see if other people do. And I think other people do love that. I mean, it was such a huge movie, so I'm also not mad at it if it makes it. I would still give it a slight no, just because there are so many ones that I was like, this has to make it, and not all of them can. So, but yeah, it's definitely a really great opening. I think Austin sold that. Austin and Malcolm sold it well. So yeah.
Jordan, what do you say about Avengers Infinity War?
Well, so you guys thought I was going to say yes to every single superhero movie out there, and the only reason why I'm kind of leaning towards saying no is because I have 2 more Avengers movies specifically that I would put higher than this. Not just superhero movies, Avengers movies. Easily. And for this one, I think that it's good, but I've always been a little lower slightly on Infinity War than a lot of the community. I like it. I think it's great, but I just it's just, I don't know. It just doesn't really get there for me compared to some other things that do some different things. They just do it some totally different things, and it just kind of So it'll be a slight no for me.
Wow. I highly disagree on that one. The Avengers. No.
Yeah, if you bring up the other ones, I think they're all inferior to the Infinity War scene.
No.
Yeah.
No.
Yeah, I was so sure that you're going to say yes. I'd already put it down on the paper, so just
we'll see if I even bring them up. I don't know.
Anyway, Austin, we go back to you. What is the next?
Well, so let's switch out of the superhero talk and let's go to a very stylistic opening scene. That's not the most action packed. There is a little action, but again, I think sets the tone artistically for the movie, for the character, for the methodical nature of the movie. I'm going to go with Nicholas Winding Refn's Drive. I'm gonna go with the opening scene of Drive because holy shit, is this scene great? And it's methodical. It's calculated. The score and the music in this and the LA setting at night is really great. The thumping, music, all that stuff as he goes and he pulls up to a place you don't know exactly what he's doing. It ends up being kind of a heist. He picks up these guys and he's got to get them out of there. And again, it's not about him, losing the cops at every corner or anything like that. It's just him being strategic, peeking around the corners, hiding when he needs to hide. He's got this basketball game turned up on the radio. You don't really know why. And then there's a phenomenal payoff at the end where he pulls into the actual basketball game precisely as it gets out and the buzzer hits and he escapes into the crowd. It's such a great calculated opening. It's shot beautifully with the cinematography. You don't get any dialogue from Gosling's character. You just see everything in his eyes, and it's great acting through his eyes, and it sets up his character as a whole and his methodical nature. Man, I think this opening is so brilliant in a completely different way from maybe everything else on this list. So I'm gonna say Drive, that opening scene.
Jonathan, what do you say about Drive?
I discussed in my chat that there are 3 or 4 clearly great openings. Like, it should be on the list. You picked another one. That Drive is perfectly done. It's a perfect opening. It really sets the whole scene, the whole cool, slick tone. It reminds me of like a Michael Mann movie in a way. It reminded me of like a little bit of a Thief in a way, how it opens with that nocturnal LA atmosphere. And it's just fantastic. Like, I wanted to see that opening again, but I know that scene so well. Yes, 100% yes.
Chad, what do you say about Drive?
Yeah, this is one of the first ones that I thought about to include on my list. It's 100% yes as well. I love Drive. There's a reason why like so many people have Drive posters on their wall. It's just such a kind of weirdly iconic movie. Just came out, and Gosling is such a cool character in it. It's very brutal in a lot of ways, but like iconic. Like the music is really great. The jacket he wears is kind of like people want to buy that jacket. So it's just like it's got that like really great like cult status, and I think it's an excellent movie. And when I think about that movie, mostly I think about that opening scene just because I think it's so well done for like a whole heist thing. And I love how it begins with his little narration of I in 5 minutes I'm yours. I'll do whatever you need me to do, but once that's done, I'm done. You're on your own. And it's just a really cool setup. And then he has such a like patience when he's driving that car. He puts like the wristwatch on the steering wheel, and he's like setting the 5 minutes and like perfectly timed, just like Austin was saying. And I love how like things are going wrong, like the guy's taking forever to get to the car and he's still just patient as hell. And they're so methodical, trying to, hide in certain places and just being very smart about it, and, succeeds, and he's done. And I just, it's such a great setup for the movie, and beautiful. Yes, for sure.
Jordan, what do you say about the opening to Drive?
Well, can we just say that Ryan Gosling knows how to rock a jacket? Like you watch like the Fall Guys, got all kinds of jackets. You watch like Barbie, even like the place beyond the Pines, he has like a motorcycle jacket on, like all that stuff. So yeah, like I want every single jacket that he wears in his movies. But yeah, this movie is an easy yes. Yeah, it's an absolutely incredible opening. Yeah, just kind of like what you guys said. Like you see everything in his eyes. He doesn't have to really say anything. And yeah, the whole heist of it, and then just the little like subtle things that he does. Like you like see him at the light, and then there's a cop across the intersection from him, and then like as soon as he starts moving, the cop flips his lights on, but you see him stop to kind of think about it though. He just stops. And it's like, oh, all right, here we go, or like whatever, and then you see him hiding like behind a semi truck when they're like looking down the alleyway, like just all that stuff is just really cool, and yeah, it just works. So yeah.
And it ends at a Clippers game, Jordan. You're a big Clippers fan.
Yeah. Go Clippers. I got my Clippers thing on right there. So, yeah.
He puts on his Clippers hat and walks out of the parking garage. So there you go.
Yes. Anything with with the Clippers in it is a yes for me. So,
But yeah, I think Drive is a great movie. And yeah, this opening scene was a lot of fun. It's one of those. It's one of those ones like it was one of those opening scenes that like as soon as I put it on, I was like I was like just keep my eyes to the TV while it was on. Like I didn't want to look away in case I missed something. And it was just a lot of fun. So it's an easy yes for me as well. So Drive is going to make the list. Jonathan, we go back to you. What is the next thing you're going to nominate?
You know what? I'm surprised that I'm the first. I'm going to bring up the first horror movie to be nominated. Because we have a couple of horror residents here. So let's see how this one goes, because there are some good horror openings. Openings to a horror movie in the decade. So, and this one, if they had fudged this, this would have been a cataclysmic movie. But this did not. This one is horrifying, disturbing, and is shot magnificently well. And boy, that clown! When you see that clown smile, ooh! And I'm talking about it. Jeez, my God, Bill Skarsgård as that clown, just really, wow. I will never forget it when I saw it in the theater. And even though I've seen it in the TV movie, it was fine. It was kind of funny in comparison to the 2017's It. But this It is terrifying. It doesn't play around with you. They actually show the kid's arm being, taken away.
Jesus Christ.
God, it is
Dude,
nightmare.
when Pennywise's arm comes out of the sewer stretching to go grab him, I was like, dude, anyway, I'll tell my story when we get to me.
Yeah.
I don't want to
That's exactly why I'm nominating it, because it doesn't play around with you. Like, it really delivers on its R rating. It really does. And look, it's a fantastic opening that actually engaged me from beginning to end, and it's a very good movie as well. It really sets that traumatized, terrifying tone throughout the film in part one. So that Pennywise clown movie.
Chad, what do you say about it?
I actually do have a couple other horror movies on my list. I didn't put it on there, and I'm mad about it because I was like, shit, okay, yeah, that's another one I should have put on there. So I'm saying yes to it for sure, because that movie came out and I saw it twice in the theaters. A lot of people were going to see it. I mean, it was the highest grossing like R-rated horror movie. I think it still might be, because it's so great and so scary. And people who love the miniseries love it. People who haven't seen that or don't care love it, I think. So because it's so scary. But that opening scene, like you said, it really goes for it. Bill Skarsgård is a worthy successor to Tim Curry, I think. He just makes it really, really terrifying because it's not campy at all like Tim Curry's was. And it's so creepy. I love the extra little stuff that he does where he can do the lip curls. He can do his eyes really weird. You want some pop, and he's just like, and then all of a sudden he'll just stop talking and just kind of stare and start drooling. And you're like, oh my God, okay. Bill, you need to stop. And then, like Jonathan said, it really goes hard and like kills a kid, and it's just like, what? Like, even like I'm pretty sure in like the original Pet Sematary they cut away when Gage is about to get hit, so it's like right now, it's going there, and we're in a new age of horror. So I love it. That's such a great pick, Jonathan, and very, very scary. So yes, for sure.
Also very sad to see that kid in pain. Oof.
Oh yeah, for sure.
Jordan, what do you say about it?
My computer cut out. Did you say
yes? Jordan, you.
Okay, yeah. Okay, sorry. Like cut out like right at the moment that you spoke. Sorry, but yeah, you don't want to lose your boat, Georgie. Bill's gonna kill you. Yeah, like it's just like it's like so good and just like really creepy. A great opening. I've got a few, well, a couple, maybe 2 other horror movies on the list, but yeah, this one's great though. Like the It Chapter 1 is just a perfect opening. Just the whole scene in the rain and like the storm drain, all that stuff. It's just really haunting stuff. So yeah, I'll say yes for that. Yeah.
Yeah, it's one of those. This is one that I didn't initially put on my list just because I forgot that that Georgie's death was the literal opening scene. I thought it happened a little bit further along then. But yeah, it's a great scene, and yeah, it definitely sets the tone for what you expect from it. So it's going to be yes for me as well. Chad, what is your next nomination?
Oh shit!
You know, I really like this
What about
movie as well. You know, it's really great. You know, no, it's okay. No, I was just gonna tell
I knew you'd
Carol,
say
like,
yes, right?
I saw this movie opening night in a full IMAX theater, like 300 people with the extra sound and everything. Man, that movie played like gangbusters that night. It's one of my favorite like memories of seeing a horror movie in a theater.
Same
Just
here.
everybody just losing their mind. They were ready for some crazy horror, and like it was so great. We were all on the same wavelength. But yeah, that opening scene is great. It sets the tone. Yeah, when he gets his arm actually like eaten off, you go like, oh, this movie's not playing around. Like we're gonna go there. We're gonna have some fun. And yeah, Chad mentioned the little character beat where like he loses his character for a second trying to be nice, and he thinks about the meal and he starts to drool. It's such a little character thing, but like, oh, it's so great. Like when you go back and watch that scene a couple of times, just looking at the details that Bill Skarsgård does in that movie, it's great. So yeah, no, this one was on my list. I would have given it 100% yes.
Yeah.
You're welcome.
Now, Chad, what is the next one you're going to bring up?
Okay. This one's a little tough because it's the same vein as the John Wick franchise, where I'm picking another franchise that has a lot of great openings, and so I'm trying to figure out which one to do. And I think I found it, and I'll have to see if everyone else agrees, or maybe they'll be like, "No, I love the other ones in the franchise more."
Oh, I think I mean,
I'm sorry.
No, I think I think we know where we're going as far as what franchise, but yeah, go ahead.
Yeah, so it's the Mission Impossible franchise.
Okay.
So I'm gonna go Ghost Protocol.
Hey,
Yeah, you got the right one.
Yeah.
I was thinking, and I will bring up just one other. You know, when you're really like ramping it up from Ghost Protocol on, like I think 3 is phenomenal too.
Yeah.
But like opening scenes, you know, it really hits the ground running in Ghost Protocol. And I think Rogue Nation is really good too because the plane is like, that's the wrong door, open the door. It's really cool, but like I really love the Ghost Protocol opening, where it's basically them in the prison. Well, he's trying to get Tom Cruise out of the prison, and then they're trying to get that other guy who thinks Tom Cruise's name's Sergey,
Yeah.
out of the prison.
Sergey.
And I just love how they're, you know, it's the man in the chair is opening all the doors, and there's, you know, he's got to like fight a bunch of people and like cause a riot, and you know all this stuff is happening. It opens all the doors, everybody's fighting, and he's trying to get Sergey out, and you know going into the sewers and all this stuff. And not Sergey, the guy who thinks he's Sergey is trying to, he doesn't know what the hell's going on, but Tom Cruise is trying to get out. I love the moment where he's like, open this door. And then, because he's always just trying to get Benji to open doors. Open this door. Yeah. And he's got to sit there.
He keeps pointing at the camera.
Kind of sit there and wait, just wait for him to open that. I'm not moving until you open this door, and this mission's going to go to shit. So, you know, you better do it. So, yeah, I think that opening really rules. And I always forget that the movie opens that way. And then I'm like, oh, this is such a brilliant opening for Ghost Protocol, and in a franchise that has so many fantastic openings, I just love how this one does. As soon as they get to the under the prison, and then the line gets lit, the fuse, and then you get to follow that. Yeah. It's such a great like opening scene, and then credits, and you're like, yes, I'm ready for this movie. So Ghost Protocol.
Jordan, what do you say about Mission Impossible Ghost Protocol?
Yeah, well, Ghost Protocol is definitely on my list. Yeah, I think that's one of the best opening scenes for any Mission Impossible movie. Now, like, if we're not doing just 2010s. I like, even though it's not a great Mission Impossible, I like the opening scene of Mission Impossible 2. I think that's actually kind of the opening scene's
Actually,
kind of
yeah.
cool. But
Yeah.
yeah, I like the rock climbing thing. But
Oh,
Yep.
the other one.
but for this though, yeah, I think that it's great. You kind of see Tom Cruise just kind of just sitting there, just kind of chilling out, waiting for it. But like, you have to kind of play it cool because like really deep down, he's like kind of panicking and like he needs to get out of there. And then the whole time, I remember when I first saw it, I'm like, who's this Sergey guy? Like what's going on with this guy? And then like you finally eventually like find out, and then they start playing like the Frank Sinatra music, and it works so well with the whole brawl in the jail, and like just like one thing after the next, like where he's communicating with like Benji and all that stuff. It just works like so well. It's so much fun, and yeah. So also that's my favorite Mission Impossible movie. So yeah, I'll go with, or I'll say yes.
Yeah, this is tough for me because there's a few that so I like all the opening scenes from most of these Mission Impossibles, but it's one of those ones like just because like I prefer an opening to a different Mission Impossible, I'm just going to give this a slight no. I think the opening to Fallout is better, but they're all good realistically. Austin, what do you say about Ghost Protocol?
Yeah, this is my favorite Mission Impossible movie, and I love this opening so much. Yeah, because while it's not the most spectacular, obviously, action scene of Ghost Protocol with the Dubai scene, I just think it's one of the most fun openings. Because keep in mind, Benji in the previous movie wasn't really part of the team in MI3. He was just kind of, he was just a guy in the office, and now you get a great dynamic of him being a part of the team, being the tech guy. They're not even talking to each other, and you sense already the chemistry between him and Ethan. Again, just through those, pointing looks, through the cameras and everything. And yeah, all the stuff with the doors is fun, where he's opening all the doors for him and cutting off the cops and the rioters and everything. It's great. It's so much of a little maze and a puzzle, and yeah, him fighting his way out of there. I think it's a great prison break. So yeah, I'm gonna say yes.
And John, what do you say about Mission Impossible Ghost Protocol?
What I put down on the list was just Mission Impossible. I don't care which movie on the decade I was on. Yes, too, because I love them all. I love all of those openings. I want to clarify on this opening. There is a little bit of the chase when they were going after that little file.
That's right. That's right.
A little bit. We find out the reason why.
Sawyer from Lost. He's in the beginning, the opening.
Just a little bit, and then we find out why after the titles. But then the prison chase is actually part of the opening as well. So that's why I said I would say yes as well, because it's a great opening. And regardless if it's Rogue Nation, the plane, or Fallout with the trickery, yes to all of them. I don't care which one. And I'm glad that our Mission Impossible is going to go on the list. So Mission Impossible goes.
Chad, are you putting together some IKEA furniture, or like what's going on?
It's a Blu-ray shelf.
Oh, he's got the same. He's got the same one. I've set up 5 of those, Chad. So if you need any pointers, let me know.
Oh, nice.
I think that's the exact same one I order every time with the black. Yeah, so I'll help you out.
Yeah. So listen up, viewers. This is very important if you want to set up your Blu-ray shelf. Follow Chad.
Yeah.
Make sure you put the pegs in the right place and you measure it out.
Yeah. Make sure you find the right doohickey to put in the right slot.
But that Mission Impossible Ghost Protocol is going to make the list. Jordan, what is the next movie you're going to bring up?
So I want to bring up one that could be a little. I don't know if it's an unconventional pick necessarily, but it's one that I don't know if anyone's maybe bringing up. But I really like it because it's one in a franchise that's not very good. Like it's a standout for me as one of the better movies in this franchise. I want to shout out the intro to the Transformers movie Bumblebee, because in Bumblebee they start on Cybertron, so you get to see freaking Cybertron, and you get to see them fighting, and you get to see like the beginning of the war there, and you get to see Optimus, you see Bumblebee where he actually has his normal voice, you see like Optimus, you see him just like I'm having these wars. Like these are the Transformers movies that I love. Like I love Transformers the animated movie from the 80s when they're on Cybertron, and then I love Bumblebee. I mean, it's only that opening scene. I would have loved to see more of the Cybertron stuff because I think that that's so much fun. It's like so cool. You see that like the friendship between Optimus and Bumblebee. They're just working in tandem, and it's just it's a lot of fun. And I think that the new animated one's coming out. It's gonna have a lot of Cybertron stuff. So I'm looking forward to that because like that's the stuff that I like. Like not just like goofy stuff where they're out of their element. I like where they're at home and they know exactly what they're doing, and yeah, it just works. So yeah, I'll say Bumblebee.
Yeah, I quite like Bumblebee, and I think it's a good movie. And the opening is just one of those ones that doesn't really do a lot for me. Like I've never really sort of been a big Transformers fan at all, but it's just one of those ones like it's a fun opening, but it's just one of those ones that didn't really do a lot for me. So I'm going to give this a slight no. Austin, what do you say about Bumblebee?
I still haven't seen Bumblebee because I tapped out on Transformers as a franchise like a long time ago. I'm just done with those fucking movies. I don't
He
care how.
refuses to watch the good ones.
I refuse to watch them. I tapped out after Age of Extinction. I'm done with these movies. I'm done wasting my time on them. So I don't care. So no, or I abstain, whatever. No.
Jonathan, what do you say about Bumblebee?
I had to look it up because I forgot about that opening. It was fine. It's a fine opening. It's just there are a lot better ones than Bumblebee, but it's a fine opening to a solid movie. But yeah, even though it is a solid movie, I was slowly checking out during this movie. But it is definitely the better ones, the better of the Transformers movies. But as far as an opening is concerned, it is fine. But I'm gonna go no.
Chad, what do you say about the opening to Bumblebee?
Okay, so this decision is not resting on my shoulders. It's a no. But I also would have said no, although I totally see where Jordan's coming from with it. I do think it is a really cool one, and I'm kind of glad that they didn't stay on Cybertron is the planet.
Yeah,
I'm glad that they didn't stay there because I actually really like Haley Steinfeld in the movie and just her relationship with the Bumblebee. I really like that movie. It's my favorite of the franchise because it doesn't have Michael Bay really doing anything. I think it really works. And actually now I'm wondering if it would be a good movie, the one that Jordan was pitching, where it's like all on that planet and you're just seeing them in their element. That actually sounds like something I'd be interested to see. But yeah, I think it's cool that the scene is in there, but it doesn't really, for me, like set up anything like much about the rest of the movie, and I just don't really care about it that much. But I'm also not a big Transformers guy. I think if you are, you probably go like, yeah. So, and I totally get that. But for me, I would just say no. It is cool.
Was at least the best intro for any Transformers movie. I'll say that.
Oh, for sure.
But with that, Bumblebee is not going to make the list. I'm just more surprised they didn't call it Bumblebee a Transformers movie because
right.
Nowadays they would.
They did.
Now, yeah, if it came out now, it would. Yeah, that's what they say.
Yeah,
Bumblebee, a Transformer story.
Yeah.
Well, the funny thing is, it came out. I'm pretty sure Bumblebee came out the same year as Solo, a Star Wars story. So they were doing it.
Yeah.
Yes.
Furiosa, a Mad Max saga, because we're stupid as audiences.
Yeah.
So
we're dumb. Yeah.
But anyway, I'm going to try with this one. I don't know how this is going to go. I know at least 2 people on this panel doesn't like this genre that much. But I'm going to bring up La La Land. This is one of the like another day of sun sequence is a really entertaining thing. It definitely gives the vibe of La La Land going for this whole classic Hollywood style musical, and it's just one of those ones that I think it's everything I've always dreamed of doing in a traffic jam. I'm not gonna lie, there's
Now
been so many
dancing
times
with
I've been in a
everyone.
traffic jam, like, you know what? I really want to get out and start dancing because why not?
No, I just want to get to my destination. Get this damn traffic moving. Screw all that.
I want to see a video of you
But,
doing that, Malcolm.
I've never really been in a traffic jam. We don't really
Yeah.
get. There's not.
Lucky you.
I'm not traveling. I'm not. Well, it's
Yeah.
more of a case. I'm not traveling at those time of things.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's. I just think it's like it's definitely one of the more sort of like better like musical openings of this decade, and I just think it's definitely. It also just gives the vibe of what we can expect from the movie and that. But Austin, what do you say about La La Land?
You know, I'm not a musical guy. I saw it in the theater, you know, because everybody was talking about it. So, you know, I saw it. It more made me mad because I was like, man, if people got out of their cars and start dancing and the traffic started moving, I'd be pissed off. So,
Yeah.
like I saw this on a lot of lists. It's one of those things where, like, if it makes it, I'm fine with it. Like, I'm not gonna be mad, but I don't care for it personally. Like, I just don't. You know, I'm not a musical guy. So, but if everybody else is in agreement, that's fine. You know. It's not for
Like
me.
all the other drivers would be like yelling at, "Stop! Get back in your car! Let's get moving! Stop
Yeah.
it! What are you doing?
Yeah. Get out of here.
I'm pretty sure Collider did a parody of that as well. They're exact.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
But Jonathan, what do you say about La La Land?
Well, I'm gonna go with the assumption that Jordan's gonna say no, so it really falls on Chad.
Huh?
La
Maybe.
La Land. I think it's a magical opening. I'm sorry, but it is a magical opening that kind of sets off the whole rest of the movie, the whole rest of the journey. And it really takes the courage. Like it's an original song. I mean, it's not like a song that we've heard before, and that's what's more impressive about it. That the choreography on the freeway. I would have been scared and said hell no, but La La Land's opening is fantastic. Really got me engaged throughout the whole movie, and that's what an opening should do, just to get me engaged, at least not get bored. So yeah, let's see what happens. I'll say yes to it. Let's have a little variety. La La Land for Malcolm. There you go.
Chad, what do you say about La La Land?
You got to love that musical logic where they'll just stop everything, just break into song, and just logic rules, just whatever, just throw it out.
I like exactly what they're doing. Yeah,
exactly. And I love the fact, and everybody's in sync, singing the same stuff. But yeah, I was making my list, and I was like, towards the end of it, I was like, all right, I think I have it. Oh, La La Land. I have to put La La Land on my list. So of course I'm saying yes, by the way. But then Carrie was like, Malcolm's going to bring up La La Land. And I was like, everyone knows bring up La La Land.
Yeah.
But I'm still putting it on my list. So yeah, I'm glad he did because I love it. And I just think it's so impressive. I don't know. I just think it's really impressive. Like shut down like a actual
freeway
highway to film it, and then it's like shot in like a tracking shot, like one seemingly one take, and everyone's just different kinds of dance, different kinds of people doing a bunch of stuff, and just it's original song. It's a really good song, and it's just really fun. Yeah, just get you into the vibe of what that movie's kind of going to be, and just a big show-stopping number in like the very first scene, and then I just love how it ends with and we're done, and then it pans down to our main characters and stuck in traffic, where they're not singing, but they probably wish they could be singing instead of just like pissed off in traffic. So I mean, if you're stuck in traffic, what else are you gonna do? Maybe we should start having show-stopping numbers in California traffic when there's nothing else to do for like 2 hours, 3 hours, however long it takes. But yeah, I think it's incredible. And so, of course, I'm going to say 100% yes.
So,
Jordan, what did you say about La La Land?
Well, I mean, a lot of people think they might know me and like where I'm gonna go, but I actually love La La Land. Like, I'm not a musicals guy, but I love La La Land. I think La La Land is great. Like I love all the music. I had a lot of fun, even though my ex-wife at the time got bored and actually went out of the theater and was like walking around because she was bored. It's like, what? Like, what's wrong with you? This is awesome. Like you should be the one that's into this, not me. But and even though I think that it's probably one of my least favorite songs from the movie, the music's so good that it's just like it still is a good song, but I like some of the other ones better. But I think that it's a great opening number because you get that juxtaposition between them being all happy and then you pan down to the main characters and they're pissed off and it just works. And yeah, so I didn't really initially have it on my list, but sure, let's have a musical on the list. Yeah.
Yeah.
So that La La Land's going to make the list. Austin, what was the next movie you're going to bring up?
So I'll go from musicals to something a little more terrifying and horrifying. Now, not a horror scene per se, but a scene that kind of plays out like a horror movie, given the things that are revealed. So this might be an unconventional one that people might not have thought of. I'm going to go with the opening scene of Sicario. Which is the Emily Blunt raid on the house, where they raid the house. There's a little bit of a shootout, a couple of people there, and then one of the bullets goes through the wall, and then she ends up, pulling back the wall, and we see that horrifying image of all the bodies wrapped up in plastic, all going all around the house, up the hallways, into the bedrooms, just like 100 bodies just lined up one after another. Absolutely terrifying. And then you have kind of the capper of the scene is the cop that accidentally triggers the booby trap. And it blows up the house. And again, a one that perfectly shows us the horrors that we're going to see and preps us for what we're going to see later with the stuff in Juarez and all the horrors and violence of the drug cartels, but also perfectly sets up the motivation for Emily Blunt and why she says yes to Josh Brolin's proposal to go after these people and to go after the true villains and the true enemies, and really propels her character and gets her ready to go. So it's one that I think a lot of people don't think about, but I love Sicario. And while the actual trip into Juarez may be like the best scene in the movie, much like in Ghost Protocol, like is the Dubai scene, I think this is a great opening that really sets the standard for what we're going to see and gets us kind of mentally prepped for some of the stuff we're going to see with the cartels. So yeah, it's one that you guys may not have thought of, but I hope you'll consider Sicario.
Jonathan, what do you say about Sicario?
Damn. That's a tough one. That's a tough one to call here. Denis V knows how to open a movie.
Yeah.
Boy, I have like two others though. And Sicario does have a great opening. Yeah, it does. It really sets that tone of horror, that mood that you're gonna go. It's like get ready for this, because it's not going to be that easy to conceive. I believe Benicio del Toro says it like you're not going to like it, but you're going to understand it, or something along those lines, and later. But that is a terrifying scene, a great scene, great opening, and then it ends with the bomb as well before Emily Blunt goes into the shower and wipes off all that blood and it's terrifying. Damn, that's a great pick. Why not?
You can almost smell the scene, Jonathan.
I know exactly.
You can smell the bodies almost through the screen.
Yeah,
it's so gross.
Yeah, that's good. That's a good point. Why not? Yes.
Chad, what do you say about Sicario?
Let me come closer. Sorry. Can I injure myself with this? Okay. I'm back there just like inner struggle, and I'm doing exactly what Austin wanted to and considering it hard. Like just thinking about this because I love that movie as well. And like Jonathan, I think he said, I also have at least one other Villeneuve movie on my list. And I didn't think of Sicario. That's true. And it is such a crazy, like heart-pounding, thrilling, scary opening. And I'm just sitting there like, because only one is probably going to make it. I doubt multiple Villeneuve is going to make it on.
Well, there's another genre that hasn't been brought up yet.
True. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. This will be the 8th. And oh man, I have so many others on my list. This is tough.
We got 4 spots.
4 spots left.
5
Yeah,
spots.
5.
Some of
Yeah,
these
5. Well,
have
5
already
counting this
been
one.
brought
Yeah,
up.
if it makes it.
Shit. I'm really at a crossroads with this one. It's so good. All right, because if I say yes, it would be deciding. I kind of want to see what Jordan and Malcolm say. I'll give it a slight no.
Jordan,
Just
what do you
see.
Jordan, what
Well,
do you say about
You're not gonna like my answer to one of the other ones you're thinking of.
Yeah.
I'll tell you that right now. So
Yeah.
better get Villeneuve on there while
Yeah.
you can.
Yeah, same. But I had this movie on my list. I had Sicario on there. I think that opening scene's awesome. I think that it's so good. You just see him like bust through the wall with that truck, and then the guy's all shocked, and then he's like, "Oh my gosh!" And then you see like the cinematography. Also, you see him pan around. You see him see all the different walls. They start breaking down all the walls. You see the bodies in the bags, and then just Emily Blunt's performance. Like throughout the whole movie, but even in this scene, like she just is like so horrified, like she's just like, what the F have I gotten myself into? And it's just like, yeah, it's just really, really powerful. And yeah, I'm a big, was this one that was written by Taylor Sheridan? I think
Yes.
maybe it was. Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I was gonna say I'm a big fan of his, so I'll watch anything that he writes. So, yeah, so it's an easy yes. Yeah, I'll say yes to Sicario.
Villeneuve needs to do a horror movie. I tell you what, and I'm
Full-on
glad.
horror movie. Yeah.
I'm glad my
Yeah.
decision wasn't a deciding factor
Yeah.
because I'm glad it made it.
He
Or Taylor
dances
Sheridan
around.
needs to
He
write
dances
one.
around it a lot. Yeah, just go full horror, Danny. Give us one.
Yeah.
Exactly.
After you're done with Dune, I know you got to make one more Dune movie. I get it.
Yeah.
But, yeah, go back to it.
I mean, even if Jordan said no, I would have said yes.
All right.
This is an absolute easy yes for
Good.
me. That like this is the best opening of a Villeneuve movie of this decade. And
Oh yeah.
it's absolutely the best Villeneuve movie of as well. So I'm it's a yes for Sicario for me. Jonathan, what is the next movie you're going to bring up?
No, I'm not going to waste my vote for that one. I just, I think I know which one that you're going to be alluding to, and
I'm trying not to say the title, but you can take the context.
I'm afraid. No, I don't want to waste.
If you know me and Jordan, you know there's a movie on there we're not fans
Yeah,
of.
the
So,
movie we do not
so
like.
you're gonna have to convince Malcolm. Yeah.
You know what? Yeah, I'm not going to do it because I was alluding to a genre of
Well, now's the time to do it if you're gonna.
science fiction, and we don't have a sci-fi movie on there yet. So, but what are we doing here? I mean, we alluded to this movie earlier, Baby Driver. I mean,
There you go.
The other Edgar Wright movie. I mean, come on. I just look. Say what you will about Ansel Elgort. I mean, yeah, he's not a good guy or a good actor, but I mean, the opening scene alone just got me right from the get-go, and just the way that Wright handles or utilizes music in the opening scene. I mean, it's done wonderfully, and uses it with the car chase that makes it more fun than terrifying, and that really sets the tone with it. Yes, there's terror and fun in certain scenes, like the coffee scene, which the Barry White song where John Hamm's character is just drinking coffee. It just makes me laugh, but then it gets terrifying a little later. But yeah, that's the whole tone. And Edgar Wright, yeah, people consider Baby Driver a little overrated, but I think the opening is fantastic with him just driving along with the music and the chasing scene, and him switching lanes with other couple of cars that are similar to his car. And that was it. And I think it was just right there. I think that opening kills it, and it's just fantastic. So yeah, I'm gonna nominate Baby Driver, and I think it's a great opening and has a fun soundtrack underneath that scene. So Baby Driver.
Chad, what do you say about Baby Driver?
Yeah, I mean, I brought up another Edgar Wright movie. It didn't get on, but I'm happy to still say yes to this because it's also on my list. I had two Edgar Wrights on my list, and honestly, if it were, all-time openings, I probably would have more Edgar Wright movies because I just think he crushes openings. I think he crushes just like every part of a lot of his movies. Um, and so Baby Driver is definitely no different. It rules. I disagree with anyone who says it's overrated just because I think it's such a good movie, so fun. I understand Ansel Elgort, Kevin Spacey, they're both in it. I get it. Okay, fine. If you can't separate the art from artist from the art, so I'm sorry, don't watch it. But for me, I can. So I still love it. I have so much fun with this movie. And yeah, we threw on Drive on there, and I think this is kind of the reverse, where Drive is like the calculated, really cool thing, and this is cool too, but it's also very fun. And I love the high speed, kind of maneuvering that they do. Like whoever stunt drivers they use for this movie is just incredible because some of those ways they move the car is just amazing. And Jonathan laid out like all of that, but I love the song choice, how he's prepping and stuff, just waiting for them to come out instead of just staring at the door like Gosling does. He's just like having fun and just like everything's like timed out to a groove. He's got that tinnitus he's trying to get over. And the whole movie's kind of like that. It goes like straight from this to him, miming the song to going to get coffee and stuff. So this movie just like moves and it's just like timed out to like music and it's perfect that way. And this opening scene is really incredible with that getaway driver scene. So it rules. Yes, 100%.
I think that song was called Bell Bottoms.
Yes,
Bell Bottom Blues.
Bell Bottom.
Yeah.
Bell Bottom Blues. Thank you.
Yeah.
Jordan, what do you say about Baby Driver?
Well, I'm with Jonathan. It's like, what are we doing? Let's just put it on there. Come on, this movie is like obvious and yeah, it's so good. It's just a great opening that just grabs you by the throat and just just doesn't really let go. As far as the music goes, it's just like you're on this ride. Some of the best editing I've ever seen, in a movie to get that music timed out that way, and yeah, but you're just with his character like from the beginning. He's up there dancing, he's singing, he's having a good time. I even kind of like it that if you watch the trailer, you can see it. They do that tequila song in the trailer, and I don't know if it's in the movie. I can't remember, but I know that I downloaded that song, but or add it to my Spotify or whatever. But and yeah, I think that's a lot of fun, and it just works really well. And I am one of those people that can easily separate the art from like what the person did. So yeah, it's an easy yes. Yeah.
So you're assuming that this is the movie I was alluding to when I said there's a Edgar Wright movie with a better opening than Field's End?
Oh,
There's
snap.
another one for the 2010s.
Whoa.
But no, this is the one that I was alluding to.
Okay. I was gonna say
What's that other movie?
Although I do like the opening for the other one I was talking about, but yeah, Baby Driver, the opening to this is great. Like especially for the way they like timed the action to fit in with the song as well, and I think that's part of what makes this opening really great. And it's like throughout this movie, it happens with a lot of the action scenes in Baby Driver. Like they timed the action to go along with the songs, and so it's hitting that same beats and that, and it's just really well edited. In that, so it's an easy yes for me. Austin, what do you say about Baby Driver?
Yeah, it's on my list. It's like we said, it's almost kind of like the opposite of Drive, where Drive is at night. It's a little quieter. It's a little more stealthy, in the decision making and all that. Yeah, this was broad daylight, blasting the music, high speed chases. It's almost the complete opposite. Going down the highway with all the traffic. But yeah, the way it's timed out to the music is great, and again sets up the character of Baby really great with the way he listens to music and he's able to time everything out and jam to everything and then be right on the ball when it comes to get out of there. So yeah, I had this one on my list. It's an easy yes.
If that Baby Driver is going to make the list, Chad, we go back to you for your next nomination.
And this still is not easy. There's so many on my list that I'm
I still got like 10 more, and we're not all gonna make it. Obviously, you just gotta
Yeah.
whatever. We'll just roll with it and say some honorable mentions. It's fine. I get it.
exactly, yeah, and just maybe convince Malcolm to do a redux of it. But I'm gonna go with an animated movie because we don't have all of those on here. I'm like, you know what? There is at least a couple that I have on my list that I think are phenomenal. And what I'm gonna go with is one that should reach everyone's. If you're not my age, then maybe not. Childhood love and nostalgia. And I'm gonna go Toy Story 3. So this opening, I think, rules. I have to convince Jonathan now, I think. So
I have to think about it.
Okay. Well, think about it.
I'm
explain
last.
the-
So go ahead.
No, I have to think about it as well because it's not on my list. I just gotta remember. I just gotta recall everything. That's all. So yeah.
So it's not like an incredibly long sequence, but like what it is in the very first Toy Story, we get Andy playing with his toys, and Professor Porkchop, and reach for the skies and all that stuff. He's playing with them, and you get to see him do it. In Toy Story 3, they do something kind of brilliant where the scene is playing out as if it's in Andy's mind, and you get to see this all play out like they're really doing this in real life.
No, it's from the toy perspective of how they see them being played with. That's what it is, because it's like the train sequence. They're actually having like a big train heist and like these shootouts, and it's what the toys see when they're being played with. They're being transported. That's the idea of the scene.
Oh, well, I mean, I think it's a little bit both because Andy also would imagine that like it's a child's like imagination and stuff. So
I always saw it as what the toys see when they're being played with. They're being transported into this play world when they're being played.
A little bit of both.
Added with Andy's imagination, but yeah, I think it's. I always took it as what they see when they're being played with, and they're fully immersed in it.
I love that take too, and ultimately it doesn't super matter because you do get this great sequence that is, instead of just seeing them being played with, which is also great. I love the opening of the original Toy Story as well, but I think Toy Story 3 just takes it to kind of a new level where you get to see all of this happen in like not live action, it's still animated, but like in the world of playing, you get to see it play out. Like if you were a child playing with the toys, this is the scene that's happening. And so the pig Ham is in a giant pig, and and stuff, and raining down the monkeys in a barrel, and it's like crazy. It's just so many monkeys, and they're just all doing what they're doing, and then and then it ends with them like kind of being packed up and stuff, and just leads into the rest of the movie. I just think it's such an incredible idea that they had. Like, how do you the first two had such great openings as well, and like how do you elevate that? And I think Toy Story 3 is such a perfect movie that like this opening was brilliant. So I don't know. I there's a lot of animated ones I could have brought up. There's another one on my list, but I was like, you know what? This one's kind of special. So Toy Story 3. What do you guys think?
Jordan, what do you say about Toy Story 3?
This one's interesting because there is one other animated movie that I could bring up, but you know what? This one is on my list though still, and yeah, it's really really cool. The opening scene's awesome with the train, and then you have the Mr. Potato Head being the eye patch guy, money, like all that, and then the like aliens, they like roll up in the car to try to like save them and stuff, and it's fun. Yeah, I think that this really works, and yeah, like it just grabs you, and I like a good scene that just grabs you just right off the bat. So I'll say yes, yeah. But there's about 20 movies that I could say yes to, like realistically. So, and like you can't have them all here, so I'll just say yes.
Yeah, I'm kind of Austin here. I've always seen this scene as how the toys imagining them perspectives on being played with in this way. And I do like the opening for Toy Story, the Toy Story movies. But it's one of those ones like, to me, I think this is it's a good opening. It's not my favorite one out of there, just because it is pretty much a rehash of sort of what we see from the first one, which I don't hate it for that reason. It's just one that's never really grabbed me as well. But so I'm going to give this a slight no. But also, what do you say about Toy Story 3?
Yeah, this one's tough because I didn't have it on my list, and it's great. I like the way it wraps around to the first movie, and I remember in the theater seeing that and seeing how it played out and go, "Oh, that's like the opening." Because I'd watched the first and second ones, before the third one came out, and it was fresh in my head, and I was like, "Oh, okay, that's a neat little kind of twist on that." But yeah, I mean, everything else that comes after it is just one amazing scene after another after that, and and amazing finales and whatnot. I didn't have it on the list, and I'm not quite convinced it should be on here, so I'll say no.
Crap.
Yeah, sorry, Jonathan. It's on
Not
you.
just surprised.
Yeah.
Wow.
Jonathan, what do you say about Toy Story 3?
Out of all movies, you gotta give me a great one. Yeah, this is the perfect finale of what should have been a trilogy.
Yep, should have been trilogy.
I'm sorry, Chad.
That's
I
okay.
gotta go slight no, man. Because
Oh.
Malcolm said exactly what I was thinking. It's sort of a little creative rehash of the first movie, just a little bit, and basically it's like that alternate angle of that first opening. I mean, that opening of the first movie, and it is fun. It is a fun, good opening, but then it just gets better and better and better with each scene, and it just ends on a perfect note at the end. If it were one of the best endings of the 2010s, Toy Story 3 would have been on it easily. As openings are concerned, I would say out of all the Toy Story movies, I would say this ranks third. Because the first one is just, it's pure childhood. Yeah. It was childhood nostalgia for me. The first one is just wonderful. And Toy Story 2 is just adventurous and is also kind of funny. The payoff is funny. So, but yeah, but Toy Story 3 opening is very good. Yeah, it's tough to make that call. It sucks that I have to make this call, but I got to go a slight no on Toy Story 3. It's such a great movie. Bless you. It's such a great movie, but yeah.
Well, I tried, Chad. I tried to get it on there.
That's okay. There's a lot of great.
You monster.
Oh,
I'm the monster. I decided to.
Yeah, you were the decider.
Yeah.
But Jordan, what is the next movie you're going to bring up?
So I think one franchise we gotta have on here, because you could go back to any a number of installments from the franchise, and they all have amazing opening scene.
I know.
You gotta have a James Bond movie in the franchise, and I gotta go Skyfall.
Yeah,
Skyfall
yeah.
effing rules.
Yeah.
I think that
Yeah.
that's great. There's some of the best action sequences, like almost in the movie, and just in the opening, you see him have a really cool car chase.
Speaking of trains, there's a train in this opening.
Yeah, right. Yeah, so there's a train. They're fighting on the train. He gets in the little like the backhoe thing, and he's swinging that around, and yeah, like it just goes just balls to the walls, just like nonstop action, just right from the beginning, and then at the end, I mean, it's in the opening scene, so it's not a spoiler, but you have Moneypenny and just to take a shot with the sniper rifle on top of the train while he's wrestling with the bad guy up there, and you hear M, and she's like, take the shot. So she does, and she hits Bond, and then you see him fall off a bridge into the water, and by all intents and purposes, you think that he's dead, but obviously we have a whole movie ahead of us. But I mean, but like still, like you don't know like what actually like happened to him. Is he alive? Like what's going on? Because he gets shot multiple times, I think, and like he must have like bulletproof vests on and stuff like that, maybe. But yeah, but it's really good, and it's my favorite Bond movie. So yeah, I'll go Skyfall.
Yeah, pretty much for this is one I didn't initially think of, but as soon as you were describing it, it kind of came straight to my mind. It's like, and this is just a great opening, especially for the fact that it's like you don't know if James Bond is alive, and they're going to do some kind of twist where someone else is going to get the name James Bond or something down the line, or we're going to see it, or or the other way I thought of it when I initially saw this is maybe this is the what they've done before in the past, like showing the ending scene of it, the
A
final
previous adventure.
battle.
Every Bond scene starts with the ending of a previous adventure.
Yeah,
basically.
yeah.
That's what it is. And
Yeah.
Indiana Jones is kind of the similar thing. It's almost like the ending of a previous
Yeah.
adventure.
Well,
Yeah.
I mean, it's not so much. It wasn't so much that when I saw Skyfall, it was more of a case for, well, maybe they're showing us the ending first, and it's going to do the whole 24 hours earlier sort of.
Oh,
thing.
yeah,
We're
they can
going
do
to see
that.
the movie
Oh,
lead
yeah.
up to that point. That's what I was getting at.
3 days
But-
earlier. Yeah, whatever.
But it was just one of those great openings that set it up, and yeah, so it's an easy yes for me on this. Austin, what do you say about Skyfall?
Yeah, I had a feeling Jordan might bring up Skyfall, and it's on my list,
Yeah.
so I'm glad you did. Yeah, because I that's why I left that one to you. But yeah, it's great. Yeah, the whole that sequence leading up to the train, and yeah, the backhoe and how he gets off there and adjusts his watch. Such a great little trailer moment as well, and adjusts his cufflinks and everything. You know, just such a Bond thing. And yeah, he gets shot at the end and goes right into the water, and we go from there, and he's floating down in the water, and we go right into the opening credits with that great Adele song, with the Skyfall song, and it's great. It's gorgeously shot. Yeah, it's fantastic. And obviously, if we ever do, opening scenes of the 2000s, Casino Royale has a hell of an opening scene as well.
Yeah.
So these Craig Bond movies, say what you will, but they know how to open their movie, and they're pretty great. So Skyfall's an easy yes. Yeah, it's on my list.
Well, the 90s, if you go back to the 90s, you can do GoldenEye. You could do a lot of different ones.
Yeah. Uh-huh. Oh yeah.
Jonathan, what do you say about Skyfall?
You got my third one. Yeah, this was an easy one. Yeah, you got my third one, the Skyfall. I was kind of worried we're not going to bring this one up because Skyfall has an excellent opening. Yeah, Spectre has a very good opening with the tracking shot in Mexico, but Skyfall, yeah, it's fantastic. It opens very well with great tension. Yeah, Roger Deakins' cinematography, the best looking James Bond movie ever. Yeah, what else can I say? I mean, yes. Skyfall, yeah.
And Chad, what do you say about Skyfall?
Yeah, it's not down to me, but I would have said yes for sure. Because I'm not that deep into Bond. I've seen a couple of the earlier ones, like really early ones in the 60s. But I started with the Craig ones. Those that was my introduction to Bond. And I say Casino Royale is my favorite, and I still say that. But Casino Royale and Skyfall are two perfect action movies that I just love.
Yeah.
So back to back. So Skyfall is easily just one of my favorite action movies too. And the opening is incredible. I just rewatched it on my phone. And on mute, and that was
I'll say this one was fun to prep for because if you didn't remember, you could just watch a bunch of 5-10 minute opening scenes, and you don't have to watch the whole movie. Watch the whole thing.
That's fun.
Hey, what's the opening of that one? Oh yeah, that's great. Let's put that
the only problem with it is then you're like, fuck, now I'm not going to watch the rest of the movie.
I know, yeah, you just want to keep watching.
I don't want to rewatch.
That happened with I was watching that John Wick 3 thing, and I was like, oh god damn, I want to watch the rest of the movie now. Oh shit, I need to go watch John. It's been a while since I watched that one. I gotta watch that one again. Damn.
It was just like that with Skyfall with me because I was like, damn, this opening scene is so intense, and takes the shot, and then he ends up falling into the sinkhole and the water, and then it leads to that brilliant credits song and all that in sequence. But yeah, my favorite part is the part that where he does the bulldozer. Not the bulldozer, but the claw, and
the
bulldozer,
the claw,
the backhoe. I call it the backhoe.
He's dragging it, and he's jumping on, and then Ethan Hunt would have just kept running, but
right.
With Bond, he's got to make sure he looks good still, and I just love that too. So I wanted to shout that out as well. It's a brilliant, fun, incredibly tense sequence. So yes, for sure, this belongs on here.
You know what just occurred to me? Skyfall's opening could have been Andy's imagination as well.
It could have been. Yeah, he's playing with a Bond toy. He's playing with a Bond toy, and he's got a backhoe on one of them, and he's spinning it in circles, and then they're on the bridge, and Bond got shot.
There you go, Chad. Toy Story 3 is there in spirit. I mean,
Yeah.
Come on,
We got a train and a bridge sequence. It's just a different one.
Yeah.
That's all.
and a claw.
And a claw. Yeah.
Take the shot, Bo Peep. Take
Yes,
Yeah,
right.
right. Yeah.
You guys are ridiculous.
Anyway, move. I'm gonna try. I'm actually go and try for another horror movie for my next pick. And I'm going to bring up the opening to Us. Well, the movie itself like has mixed opinions of, but I think the opening to Us is great. It's one of those ones like I like a lot of these horror movies where the opening just looks like it's a very normal, fun movie. It's like they're just enjoying time in the theater. Then she gets into the Hall of Mirrors and like you see her like and when she realizes that she's staring at the back of her head and all that, and at the very end of that scene, and I just think it's one of those openings where I don't know how much of this movie was sort of known like from the trailers and that. I can't remember the trailers and that much, but this is one of those ones that I don't think a lot of people knew what Jordan Peele had in store for us when we to watch this movie. And it definitely set up this movie perfectly, and it's one of those ones like I enjoy the movie myself, but I know it's everyone else has mixed opinions on it. But Austin, what do you say about Us?
I revisited Us not too long ago. That movie just frustrates me. It frustrates me to no end. That I end up just being more disappointed and frustrated by the end of the movie. You know, by the time it's over than anything else. I think that opening is like well shot. I like the color dynamics of the carnival and everything, and the beach and stuff. But I think I don't think it really sets up the character stuff terribly well. It's not that. To me, an intriguing, as far as the story goes, it just doesn't do a lot for me. Just the way that whole movie doesn't do a lot for me, other than a few basic sequences. So yeah, I saw it on a few lists, but I can't say that I agree in this case. So I'm going to say no.
But Jonathan, what do you say about Us?
It's well done. It's well constructed. But it leads me to I'm actually agreeing with Austin here in terms of criticism. I like the movie, but unfortunately, it's my least favorite Peele movie and my least favorite opening of his movies because, without getting into spoilers, it leads me to the frustrations regarding the flaws of the whole premise, and I just start to question more and more about that revelation and the conclusion, and it just I don't know. It felt like a Twilight Zone episode that is intriguing, yet I'm leaving with more questions than answers that I'm probably not going to get, answers to. And it basically says you got to accept it. And it doesn't quite fully work despite myself liking the movie. Because I think, the other two Peele movies have better openings, in my opinion, other terrifying ones. But so I'm going to go no on Us, I'm afraid.
Okay, I couldn't hear Malcolm, but I saw
It's your turn.
I saw what he said. I don't know what's happening because it doesn't look like he's muted. Anyways,
I was muted.
Oh, you were. Okay.
Oh, okay. I didn't hear
Anyways, Us. I had on my list like really early on, and then I started to fill it out more, and then I took it off, and I was like, "Is it that great?" I really do enjoy that movie and like that movie quite a bit for different reasons. And I think the opening is really strong. Since there's a lot of, negative opinions, I'll give it a slight yes, just because I do think it is very creepy. I love the when she finally gets in there and sees the double, and that's really creepy. And then I love the cut to the close in on all the rabbits in the cages, and the creepy music that plays with that. And I don't know. I think for like a horror opening, it really works because it's very creepy. I do have a couple other horror movies on my list. I don't think this is gonna make it now unless Jordan surprises me. But I do think it would be a good one to be on the list, even though I understand people's flaws with the movie. So,
which means Jordan, it falls on you for a change. What do you say
like I think Us is very good. I mean, but out of all of Jordan Peele's movie, it's my least favorite though. I like all of his other ones better, and the opening scene's good. I think that's good, but yeah, it probably just doesn't quite get there. I have one other horror movie on my list that I might bring up, but if I get another chance, I don't know. Yeah, it just doesn't quite get there. Like it's very borderline. It's one that like if it were on the list, I'd say sure, yeah, that's fine, but I'll probably say no to it. Yeah.
Us isn't going to make the list, but Austin, we go back to you for your next one.
Well, this is one that I think will appeal to the cinephile people that are to the right of me, Jonathan and Chad, and I think this will appeal to you, and you guys will like this pick. And it's a great, just from a technical standpoint and from a chaos kind of standpoint. Let's talk about Alexander Inarritu's The Revenant. And the opening to that movie, with the Native American raid on our group with Leo and Tom Hardy and all of them while they're getting their pelts, with the raid on them. And if you remember, it's shot at the golden hour of sunset. It's gorgeous to look at. It's a one shot, one take tracking scene where it follows DiCaprio as these guys are just getting raided out of nowhere, and people are getting hit with arrows, and they're trying to shoot the muskets, and they try to grab as many pelts as they can, and they're trying to escape to the boat that they have right there on the river, and trying to hold them off while they get the boat going. And man, even just from a technical standpoint, it is one of the most gorgeous, beautiful openings you'll see of the 2010s. Just the cinematography is right on point. That beautiful natural lighting, and that, like I said, the way that it's tracked and done in a one take and one shot, with all this utter chaos going on, just throws you right into it. And these guys are immediately on the run, and just kind of sets a tone for the chaos kind of that movie. So whether or not you like the movie overall from there, I think that opening sequence is a jaw dropper and a stunner right from the beginning. So I think The Revenant should easily make this list, even just from an artistic standpoint.
Jonathan, what do you say about The Revenant?
One of the best opening scenes of the 2010s, because it immerses you into that world quickly and easily. And it tells you that it is not pretty. It is grimy. It is bloody. It is brutal. It is difficult to survive, especially with all these arrows coming at you. It feels like you're going to get shot. With that,
and they've got these muskets that only have one shot, and then you got to take 2 minutes to reload it, so you can't even get shots off.
And you're not going to have as much time, and then you're going to get killed right there. And also, there are a few moments where the few Native Americans are on those trees. I don't know how
they're jumping out of trees. They're like bombarding them from everywhere. It's insane.
Yeah, I don't know how they did that, and how they were saying, "Okay, I'm okay." It is utterly gorgeous, spectacular opening. It sets the tone right there. Yes, it's one of those movies that people are mixed up on. I think they're more positive but mixed because of the slow burning journey for the rest of the movie. But that opening is, wow, it's terrific and brutal to behold. So I'll say yes to The Revenant. It's actually, and also it's a different kind of movie in comparison to this other movies that we said yes to. So
Chad, what do you say about The Revenant?
I am a little on the fence with this one. I remember liking that movie, but I was just trying to find the opening sequence to watch, but I just haven't seen it in a long time, and I couldn't find the
trailer
to watch.
Literally, just Google or YouTube Revenant opening scene. It's right there.
That's what I did.
Was it
it's the first video. It's the first two videos that pop up. It's right there.
Okay.
They call it the Indian Attack or something.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right.
That's it.
I was watching it. It did look really beautiful. And I still kind of want to rewatch it in the context of the movie. I'm sure it's going to go ahead anyways. I'm gonna give it a slight no, just because I don't remember it like super grabbing me, and I just have so many other ones on my list that I want to see make it. And I think now I'm just gonna get a straight up no's from Austin. The rest,
it would literally, the first teaser trailer they put out was just the sequence, essentially, like 2 minutes of the scene. It was amazing. Yeah, and just grabbed everybody.
I'm sure it rules, and I'm probably wrong, but I'll give it a slight no.
You're wrong.
I'm sure it's still gonna make it.
Jordan, what do you say about The Revenant?
Well, I'm just not a big Inarritu fan. Like I hate Birdman. I don't like that movie at all. And then Babel, it's not that good either. But and The Revenant's better than those, but I just don't really love it that much. I think the opening scene is good. It is like the cinematography is really great and all that, and they're running to the boats and all that. But there's just other movies I have on my list. I think like way more deserve a spot than this. So I'm gonna
I
say
disagree
no.
with that statement. But they deserve a better. Okay,
Yeah. Well, just wait till you see what they are. Maybe.
I can't wait.
Yeah, I mean, I don't like. I'm not a big fan of The Revenant. I don't like the movie, but I think the opening is great. And I'm saying yes because I think the opening's great. So
Only have 2 spots, guys. Come on.
Because The Revenant is a phenomenal opening scene, just artistically.
Opening
even. It's
scene.
amazing. Opening
Okay.
scene. That's what I'm
All right.
talking about here. The opening
Well,
scene.
That's good. I mean,
See,
It
is
made
good.
it.
Understands the
So
assignment.
there you go.
Yeah.
all right. Anyway,
I was relying on Chad. I didn't think you'd say no. I don't know what you're thinking. You're gonna watch it later and go, "What was I thinking?" Saying no.
I'm not
But,
mad at it. I almost said yes.
but Jonathan, what is
Ah,
next movie
one-
you're gonna
we
be
got
doing?
one
There's
spot left.
only one spot left.
Oh,
so many good
Make,
openings.
make it easy for me, please. Give a
No, I don't think it's
I
gonna
thought
be
I was
easy.
making. I thought I was making it easy with The Revenant.
I know what belongs. But we'll see.
The Revenant,
Yeah.
actually, it was kind of easy for me because of that. I remember that opening because of the trailer as well. So it's just fantastic to watch in the theater. So anyway, I'm looking at all the movies that we brought up and that are on the list, and I'm gonna bring up. This is gonna be an interesting one. Let's see how this goes. I'm gonna bring up a rom-com. Okay, so an
Don't have any
opening.
comedy. Yeah.
It's a comedy. It's a romantic comedy.
No, I'm
but
just saying we don't have any comedy on the list, really. I
no,
mean, unless you consider like Baby Driver or La La Land. I don't know.
Nah. Well, La La Land.
Driver maybe Baby Driver a little bit. A little bit.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, they're a bunch of kids. But anyway, so I'm gonna bring up Crazy Rich Asians. Okay, so open the scene. It's raining. Michelle Yeoh's character and her sister and their kids go into the hotel to just check in, to see if there's a room available. I believe it was the front desk, and the front desk says they don't have any rooms available, and then the manager comes and says they don't have any rooms available, and then please get out because there's this reference that they're harassing him because they're the race, and then she gets upset that she calls her husband on the phone, in a kind of humorous edit. In a way, it made me laugh a little bit. And then they come back to the hotel, and then they scold them afterwards. And then she says, "Okay, please leave." And then she said, "Okay, go ahead, call the owner." And then the owner comes out of the elevator, and just he's about to go to the front desk because the front desk was apologizing to the owner, but the owner goes to Michelle Yeoh's characters. Just having a celebratory hug. And he says that he's retiring or, passing on the estate to their family, meaning that they own the hotel now. And it means that you do not want to screw with this family because they're ultra rich. And it's kind of like a mic drop moment, that they own the hotel now. And then the Yeoh's character says, please clean up the floor. It's all wet. In her, badass way. So, and then we get to the rest of the movie. So, just for variety's sake, I'm bringing Crazy Rich Asians up because, we don't have many comedies or rom-coms on the list. We all have like action movies here, except for a few. We have a few exceptions there, but let's see. I mean, if it's denied, then it's fine.
Chad, what do you say about Crazy Rich Asians?
Well, I mean, when Jonathan first started pitching it, I was like, well, if I said no to The Revenant, I'm probably just going to say no to Crazy Rich Asians. And then I was like watching it again, hearing Jonathan like talk about it. And I was like, that is actually a really, really interesting sequence because I do love the whole, someone's like being racist to someone else, and then they're like, "Oh, you don't even know who I am,"
Yeah.
kind of a deal. And
Exactly.
such a good, like, you know, I love those kind of things when people don't underestimate someone else, and then they go, "Oh yeah, let me talk to your manager," kind of a deal. So yeah, no, it is good. I don't know if it's one of the best. So I'm gonna give it a no. But I do remember liking that and how it set up the movie and
Yeah.
stuff. So I do think it is a good pick. But you know, I'm sure people are gonna say no to yours and then mine, and you know, and we'll
Mine probably
going
too.
around until we finally get one that everyone can agree on for the 12th spot. Is normally how it works. But yeah, I'll give it a slight no, and we'll see. Maybe it does make it.
Jordan, what do you say about Crazy Rich Asians?
So I feel like Crazy Rich Asians just gets a lot of hype to it because it's like here's this movie for Asian culture and they can celebrate Asian people, and that's a good thing. But the movie overall I don't love, and even like the opening scene, I love Michelle Yeoh. Like I think she's a phenomenal actress. Like she's probably one of my favorite actresses working today, actually. But just as far as that opening scene goes, no, I just don't really like think it's one of the best of the 2010s. And I've got a couple that like I think really deserve a spot, one in particular, and so yeah, I just can't really say yes to it.
Yeah. Yeah, this is I haven't seen as well, so I've just kind of be familiar with myself with that opening scene. It's a great opening scene. I think one of the fascinating things about Crazy Rich Asians in general is the author of the book it's based on. He sold the rights to the movie studio for $1. Like, and
Really?
like,
I didn't know that. Crazy.
like it's one of those ones like he like I think that there was more to it. I think as well, but I'm not going to look up trying to figure
Why would you do that?
the whole history of how Crazy Rich Asians was made. But yeah, and I think this opening scene is great. And it definitely sets up what you'll get to expect from the movie. And yeah, so it's an easy yes for me. But Austin, what do you say about Crazy Rich Asians?
I think it's a fun punchline to an okay opening scene. So no.
Okay.
Yeah.
Hey, give it a shot. All right.
I think it's a nice punchline, but like as a scene, I mean, are we comparing it to Drive and Ghost Protocol and
Yeah.
Skyfall and The Revenant? Like,
I
no,
understand.
no,
I understand.
no,
It's just that I just
no.
wanted a little variety, just a little bit.
Sure.
But Chad, what is the next movie you're going to bring up?
Or there's a couple ones.
Well, we've already got a horror.
All right. Yeah, I mean, I still have a solid list here, and I'm going through and I'm looking. I'm like, you know, trying to like figure out like what would other people say yes to, and then like, you know, what do I personally think might be the best of this list that I have, and what maybe might we need on the list, you know, that I think. And I did try for Toy Story 3 last time. And I did also try for an Edgar Wright, and then an Edgar Wright did make it, just not the one that I said. So I'm actually pretty happy with what we have on the list so far. I think there's a lot of really great stuff on there, but I kind of still want to get an animated on there. So I'm gonna try for another one, and let's see, you know, what you guys think. I think this is kind of a universally loved movie, so maybe you'll agree. How to Train Your Dragon, I think, should be on this list. So yeah. I think this is kind of a perfect movie. Like I've sold this movie like a lot in just, you know, rankings and, you know, just different kinds of brackets and stuff like that. Just like talking about why I love this movie. And I think it just totally, you know, can change cultures and stuff. If people watch this movie and just see how, you know, prejudice and, you know, tradition can often lead to you just continuing to do terrible things. And then you just realize you can change things. It's hard, but it can be easy if everyone gets on board. And I love how this scene opens up, and every time I watch it, I'm like, holy shit. Okay. I this is one I definitely want to rewatch the rest of the movie, because it has all the stuff that, you know, calls back to later, like you're gesturing to all of me, that he says in the beginning and it says at the end, and just a different context. It also, just kind of sets up this whole town village of Burke and all the dragons, and it's like him narrating, telling us about the himself and the town, and why he has his name, and how a stupid name could actually be seen as like turning people away, and it's like, but we're crazy, so of course we do that too. So you see everyone fighting dragons and stuff like that, and the movie's going to kind of recontextualize that, and the Vikings relationship with the dragons. I think it's awesome because of the fighting. It's like such like fully realized like animated like action. It's just so cool, setting up like all the characters. It's I think it's a really funny sequence, even though the movie is funny. So I don't know if you got much comedy there, but it is really setting that up. I think the only thing that would have made it better if Toothless was in there, but you can't have that yet because he hasn't been introduced. But yeah, I do really love this one, and I love how you get a different version at the end where it's kind of changed. But when I think about movies that like set up the rest of the movie, I think this one does it kind of perfectly. What do you guys think? Is this the one or not?
Jordan, what do you say about How to Train the Dragon?
They're good movies, but overall, I just don't think that it's one of like the greatest. I mean, like I wish we could have gotten Toy Story 3 on the list, but that didn't happen. So, and also I kind of think if you've seen one How to Train Your Dragon, you've seen them all. To me, they're pretty like similar to me. But
Disagree.
yeah, but they are good. The opening scene set some things up. Is it the greatest of the 2010s? No. So it'll be no.
Yeah, I like How to Train Your Dragon. I think it's great. And yeah, but yeah, so I'm gonna give it a slight yes to this because I do think the opening scene is great. Austin, I know you're a big animated fan. What do you say about How to Train Your Dragon?
I was watching it on another tab because like I've seen all these movies once, so I was like, I was watching it, and it's a fun little opening action scene from what I can tell, and we stop in and kind of introduce Craig Ferguson's character and Gerard Butler, and kind of introduce everybody. It looks pretty. It's kind of hard to see actually. It's kind of a dark scene. Like it's hard to just tell what's going on in general. No, those movies aren't really for me. They're good animated movies, but it's on Jonathan. But if it makes the list, it's on you, Jonathan.
There's definitely other things that belong.
And another animated movie, by the way.
About that.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, you can close it out right here. I'd be fine with that if you want to.
The thing is it is a really good movie. Actually, I like them all three of them. Yeah, I think the opening to this movie, it's good. I don't think it's one of the greatest. I think it's a good opening. It sets the tone, the characters well. The way they do the action scenes and animation is pretty well done. Yeah, it's very well done. I think it's very well lit in the certain areas. But yeah, there are times where it was dark. I had to look at it a little bit again. I was like, okay. So, yeah, I gotta go with slight no. We gotta keep going on this one. So slight no. Sorry.
How to Train Your Dragon's not gonna make the list. Jordan, been hyping this up for the last few
years. You've been hyping it up, man. You better deliver.
Yeah. Well, this is what I should have brought up from the very beginning, and I don't know why I didn't bring it up because it definitely deserves a spot on it, and that's Mad Max Fury Road. Mad Max Fury Road absolutely deserves a spot on this list, and from the very beginning, you see Max just kind of come with his car, and like we're in for another Mad Max story. It doesn't necessarily like have to be the direct sequel or anything. That's what Mad Max is. They're just these like legend of Mad Max stories, and you see him with the car. It's like sort of like looks pretty trash. Like you see that he's been through some stuff already, and then you see him just kind of drive off, and you don't know what's going to happen, and then just all of a sudden out of nowhere the biker gangs come, and like all the guys in the crazy cars that they come and they capture him. They take him over to Morton Joe's kind of like I don't know what you call it, the little like like ravine thing that he lives in, and then all the war boys kind of come to him, and they're like tattooing his back, and they're cutting his hair, and you're just like, what in the world is it going to happen to this character here? And you see him trying to escape, and he's running through the tunnels, and all the war boys are just going after him, going after him, and then you see him jump out onto the big hook thing, and he's just swinging everywhere, and it's just like really incredible action, really great cinematography. The way that it's shot just like sets the tone for the entire movie, because like once this movie starts, this movie doesn't let up. It just keeps going and going with just balls to the wall action, and it's just great. You're just on this ride with this character, and like you see like the whole thing, and like when it sets it up, you see that it is Mad Max's story, even though Furiosa is a big part of it. At the heart of it, like it lets you know, like, don't forget, this is still a Mad Max story. Yeah, but I think that's a pretty awesome opening scene, so I feel like it deserves a spot. So
yeah, I'm not the big I'm not a big Fury Road fan. I like the movie. I think it's good.
that's right, you're not huge on Mad Max.
But and yeah, I'm think that the opening is fine for me. It's one of those ones like I think it's just fine. It's one of those ones like it doesn't feel like distinct from the other Mad Max movies to be. So yeah, it's a no for me. But also, what do you say about Mad Max Fury Road?
Yeah, this is on my extended list, Jordan. So you'll get a yes from me because, yeah, it's a really chaotic opening to a chaotic movie, and we had to be kind of reintroduced to this world because we hadn't had a Mad Max movie in at that point 30 years since Thunderdome, and we have to get reintroduced to this. Yeah, Tom Hardy's playing the kind of new revamped version of the character. You get some fast cars in the opening, yeah, some motorcycles, but then we go quickly back to this. To the Citadel, but you don't know where the hell he is, who these guys in all white are, these pale ass dudes. Who the hell are these guys? I don't remember them from the other Mad Max movies. Where is he?
Kind of creepy.
What's going on? Why are they tattooing him? And then he gets pulled back into the cave, and they bag his head and pull him back in, and we Mad Max Fury Road like just blast it right on the screen. And yeah, it just throws you right into the chaos. And yeah, like you said, it's 100 miles an hour from there. So yeah, I'll give it a slight yes. I'll throw it on.
Right.
Jonathan, what do you say about Mad Max Fury Road?
Dang it! You had to pick one of my favorite action movies in recent years. Damn it! You make a good point. The opening, because the narration, yes, we have to be reintroduced to this character into this world, and in concise fashion. They don't waste a lot of time. It just bam, there you go. That's exactly what you need to know based on this guy in under a minute, basically, from the narration. And I'm clear right there. And now it's all about the action and the world as well. And after 2 minutes, he's kidnapped. He's kidnapped by these mysterious people. And then he escapes once again. And I thought they were going to do this cliche where, he gets away. He does not get away. No, he does not. And because the biggest surprise is when he opens that door, it's just an empty space where he's going to die right there. And I think there's this hook hanging outside.
Yeah, he jumps onto the hook and he tries to hang on, but they get him back.
They get him back.
And then the titles show up.
Yep.
And it's great. The cinematography is gorgeous as well. This is another 2015 movie that we brought up here, that competed for the other movie that was brought in. Yeah, this was definitely competing with the Revenant in terms of technical Oscars. You know what this means.
Let's close it out, baby.
Yes.
All right, there you go.
Yeah.
We're 2 hours in. Perfect time.
Yeah.
Let's close it out.
Yeah. Mad Max Fury Road.
All right.
Plus, Furiosa is very good. What are people People need to see Furiosa.
Why aren't people seeing Furiosa? It's great.
What?
It is.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, I
Jesus.
wouldn't put it
Yeah.
up there with Fury Road, but it's very
Makes
good.
no sense.
It's
It's
very
not.
good.
It's like if Fury Road is a 10 out of 10, then Furiosa is like a 9 out of 10 for me.
It's
or
still a
8.
great movie. Yeah,
Yeah.
like what are
I
we
would
doing?
say 8.5. 8.5.
Yeah,
Yeah.
but like it's one of the better movies that's come out this year. Like, go see it, people. What are you doing?
Yeah.
It's just a damn movie. Yeah.
Disappointing year, but yeah, Furiosa is.
Yeah.
Oh, I think you're muted, Malcolm.
Yeah.
Chad,
yeah,
what do
yeah.
you think now?
Chad, what,
No,
do you think?
no,
What would you have said about Fury Road?
Yeah.
Yeah, if Jonathan hadn't said yes, I was going to say yes for sure. This was another one on my list, yeah, I had I gotten another spot, this probably would have been the one I brought up. I love it. I'm sure Malcolm's going to want to argue with me, but I think this should have won Best Picture. I think the movie rules.
Yeah.
It's like one of those that it's just like movies like this don't come around very often, and I'm just like that was the movie of the year for me. But the opening, I think, really sells that, and like you guys said, just kind of like hits the ground running, and it's just so cool. Like that opening shot of him standing by the car, I just can't get that out of my head.
Yeah.
I still remember the sound design. I was in an IMAX theater when he fired up the engine to his car. Boom, 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 and I was just like, "Yeah, let's go!"
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah.
it's on fire.
Yeah, it's such a badass movie, such a badass opening. Get your blood pumping, and like he's running. He tries to escape, doesn't. It's just such a cool to see him to get dragged back in, just at that like I don't know if it's like a high frame rate kind of thing where it happens, but it's so cool how it was shot and very weird. Like he's running and you have like the flashes of the people and he's hanging on the thing, little girls like talking to him, which is kind of creepy. And I'm like, but yeah, that's what this movie is. And the War Boys are really cool too. And Nux is my favorite characters. I love
Well, people need to see it because I already got the poster up there on my wall behind me. There it is.
Yeah,
So,
Furiosa. I did. See, I don't see a lot of movies in theaters. I did see that one because I was really excited about it, and it was good.
Yeah, if you want to see a good theater movie, a reason to go to the theater, go watch Furiosa. People.
Yeah.
Like if anything else, it's a great theater movie. So go see it on the big screen.
I agree. Yeah, it rules.
Yeah, it dropped 59%.
Oh, man,
really?
Yeah.
Jeez, that is
Yeah.
really
Well,
makes no sense.
I mean, it's one of the, I think it's just a case of people aren't that into the Mad Max franchise because even Fury Road didn't open with a banger of a thing. It only made $40 million opening.
Well,
And that's just usually doing domestic. So
Like too much action for people? Come on.
well, I
Like,
mean,
what is-
yeah,
Furiosa is not that much action,
It's too awesome.
yeah, it's too awesome. Exactly.
but it's really good.
but and just quickly to bounce off Chad's point about best picture, I think the best movie won that year Spotlight. I think is better than Fury.
I told you. I told you I was going to argue.
No, personally, yeah, Mad Max would have gotten my vote for Best Picture, but I'm not mad about Spotlight because that was my number 2. So.
But Jordan, what are some honorable mentions that you had?
Oh yeah, some honorable mention that I would have brought up. Let's see. So the other Avengers movie I would have brought up what was Avengers: Age of Ultron, because when they're going to raid that compound in the snow, you have the quintessential scene where they all jump together. It's like a really cool, like you want that poster on your wall, and like the whole thing, like language captain, like does someone just say language or whatever, and you got all of that, and then also too for another Avengers movie, I would have brought up Endgame because you see the whole thing with Hawkeye's family at the beginning, and then they all disappear, and like you see just like the threat and like the terror and like the like what just happened here, and just leaves you like just being like,
I
oh
like
my
how
God.
that's a cold open too. It's really cool.
Yeah, it's a cold open. Yeah, so yeah, and then for a comedy, I had 22. I Jump Street just because I like the rate of that like semi truck and then like it's. Like whole like squid thing, like it's inking in my mouth, and like they're like trying to pretend like they're these Spanish guys going after them, like they're Spanish gangsters or whatever. Yeah.
Is that's the my name's Jeff?
Jeff.
That thing?
Yeah, my name's Jeff.
Forgot about that one.
Yeah, and then I also have Rogue One on there, just the like the Galen Erso and Orson Krennic when they kind of
that has weird music and shit. I don't like the opening. I like the rest of the movie. That opening does not work for me. It's
I like it because it's like Star Wars' version of like Inglourious Basterds. He's looking for trying to find the little girl, like where she went, kind of thing. So yeah, but
that's 09. You can't say Inglourious Basterds. That would easily
make yeah, I know, yeah, but
there's a lot of great ones from 09 actually that I was like, oh, they just
09. There was like 5 of them. I wish I could.
There's that. There's Zombieland. There's
Star
Up.
Trek.
There's a couple from 09. I'm like,
yeah,
Star Trek. Yeah, there's some good ones from
like
2000s. Yeah.
That would have also had Spider-Man Across the Spider-Verse with the Gwen stuff at the beginning.
Across the Spider-Verse
is now. That's now.
So that one wouldn't have been a 2010. That's after. I just was I was thinking.
I would have been in the 2020s.
Yeah, but
2020s. Yeah.
But yeah, then skip that one. I would have gone with Guardians of the Galaxy because I like the like Redbone, like Come and Get Your Love, all that stuff. That's really good. For a horror movie, I had Midsommar on there because that opening scene when there's a fire and you see like the way Florence Pugh just like plays, she is crying so hard and it just makes you just feel for her because both of her parents just died in a fire and you're just like, oh my gosh, this is like crazy. And then I just threw it like a lower on my list, but I had Blade Runner 2049. I don't love the movie, but I love the opening fight scene between Dave Bautista and Ryan Gosling. I think it is pretty great. So yeah, those are mine.
Yeah, that's a good opening.
Yeah.
For me, one that I thought for sure Austin was going to bring up, but was Django Unchained. I think the opening to that is pretty good.
Pretty close.
And I know Jordan's going to disagree with this, but I think the opening to Birdman is great.
Birdman.
And yeah, not really a lot because I didn't really make a big list. It was just a case of like, I'll see what everything else comes up, and if I agree, I'll agree with them. But also, what's some honorable mentions that you had?
Dark Knight Rises, the Bane plane sequence. Holy shit! Like from a technical perspective, the 2 planes on top of each other, and great introduction to Bane. Good stuff there. I know Jordan doesn't love it, but the opening to Gravity with the explosion in space and the debris, throwing Sandra Bullock around in a circle, and the chaos of that opening. As far as the opening to Survival, it's pretty great. So I could have made an argument for that one. If they come back around again, I probably actually would have gone with the Gravity for my pick. The opening of Inception, as far as what the fuck is going on, just throwing you into the different scenarios, and you keep leveling up out of the dreams and being like, okay, what's reality? What's happening? What are we doing? That's great. Just from a fun perspective, I'm a big fan of the franchise. Final Destination 5, the suspension bridge opening is pretty damn fun.
Dang.
Like
you brought up that one, I would have said yes.
Coming down and pretty damn entertaining. Good stuff. From a character perspective, I think the opening of Whiplash with J.K. Simmons and Miles Teller, just as far as setting up the actual way the characters are going to interact for the whole movie, is pretty good. Force Awakens, I think, has a pretty good opening as far as to kind of set up the new characters and whatnot. And Guardians, Come and Get Your Love. I would have rolled with that too. So Django, I forgot to write that down. I would have put that on the list. Sure, why not?
Jonathan, what are some honorable mentions that you had?
Yeah, I would have gone with Gravity as well. Yeah, that should have been my pick there. For if we're science fiction. I mean, I'll count Mad Max Fury Road in a way, science fiction in a way. But Gravity, that's a good one. I also had Guardians. I had Ex Machina because it's a quiet introduction to the character and to the world that he'll go to, and you don't know what's going to happen. Get Out was the other one I was alluding to earlier. I think it's very creepy, and when he gets kidnapped, and then when we see him later in the movie, I know a few people don't like this movie, but Dunkirk, the opening to Dunkirk,
it's really good. Yeah,
it's really good. It's tantalizing.
The opening's good. I don't love the movie, but the opening.
No,
the opening of the guy running through and all the flyers coming down out of the sky and telling them that they're surrounded, and the sound design of that scene again is great. Yeah, great with all the gunshots in the distance.
Yeah, right there. And then we get to the movie where a lot of people do not like the waiting part, but but that Dunkirk opening is great. Ingrid Goes West. I think that's a very interesting opening where she basically ruins a wedding and it sets up the Aubrey Plaza character very well. Parasite, A Quiet Place, that you know what I'm talking about there. Hereditary, Wolf of Wall Street, and the last one I'll bring up is Lady Bird, with her with her arguing with the mother, and then she basically falls out of the car, because of
Jumps
drama.
out of the car.
Oh yeah, she jumps out.
She jumps
Ooh, I
out of the
forgot
car
about
because of
that,
drama,
yeah.
and then we get to the titles with the cast, and it says, "F you." Anyway,
Her mom was kind of a bitch, sort of.
kind of like that, but it's really realistic in that way in terms of comedy. So, and I forgot one more. The animated one I was going to allude to as well is Zootopia, because she wants to be more than just a rabbit, and she becomes a police officer afterwards. So that's it.
Chad, what are some honorable mentions that you had?
So it's one of those things where I wish I had talked to everyone before. I know we love surprises, but I wish I would have talked to because some of the ones that I got a lot of no's on, I could have brought up other ones that people were saying, like Gravity. Fantastic.
Yeah.
And yeah, I also had Final Destination 5 on my list.
That opening is so much fun. It's
Yeah.
It's amazing. It's a great movie.
Yeah.
I also had Blade Runner 2049. That's one of my favorites. I didn't bring it up because we got Sicario on there, and I think they're both fantastic. I mean, Denis brilliant. Jojo Rabbit I had on. I think that one's really funny.
Good.
A lot of great music in that one. I Want to Hold Your Hand in German. A Quiet Place I also had. It's another horror movie that I thought was excellent with its opening too. And I also had Into the Spider-Verse. I thought that was a really fun one. Let's do this again.
Yeah.
I didn't have Guardians 1, although that is fantastic. I had Guardians 2. I think that opening sequence is insane.
It's inventive.
Amazing.
Yeah.
And then I had to try to figure out which one to put, but I ended up putting on my list War for the Planet of the Apes, because I think that's a pretty excellent.
That's a good one.
Yeah, I know. And then some of you may disagree, but I love this movie. I had Frozen, the original Frozen.
No.
Yeah. No one.
No.
I will say,
okay.
I will say, I was considering bringing up a Saw movie. I just couldn't decide which one because I think all the openings to them are great.
All the Saw movies have great openings. Yeah.
Yeah, there's one of those ones like almost doing that. I still would have been the only one to agree with me on those.
I don't love the overall movies, but I do like some of those openings, though. They're kind of fun. So,
and just some of the ones that popped up in the chat. Brian brought up Paddington 2, Beautiful Day in the Neighborhood.
No,
This is the end.
This is the end.
It's an okay opening.
Maybe.
One that I'm surprised Jordan didn't bring up, but because I know he loves this movie, Deadpool.
That is
it's not about it. Yeah.
Yeah.
That was one that I was on the fence on that.
He brought up 1917 and Moana as well.
That's a great opening. 1917 is a great opening.
But
we should have brought a war movie up. Dang it.
I was gonna bring All Quiet on the Western Front up, but I'm like, that's not a
2021.
That's 2021.
And the original was better, anyways.
But with that, we get to the fun part of actually ranking these. So just to recap, what we've got here, we've got Batman v Superman, The Dawn of Justice, Social Network, John Wick 3, Drive, It Part 1, Mission Impossible Ghost Protocol, La La Land, Sicario, Baby Driver, Skyfall, The Revenant, Mad Max Fury Road.
All strong openings.
Yeah,
good list. Yeah.
See, John. Some of y'all came in going like, I don't know this. There's a lot of really good ones when you start thinking about it. You know, like it's a little underrated. So, but yeah, you could do this for any decade. I think you could.
Yeah.
I mean, it's definitely going. I'm definitely going to try and talk through the.
See if you could, work these in, and we'll just work our way back, because I think it'd be a fun topic going forward. And you get us, get the same panel. We'll just do it all for the whole
we'll just do it all. Yeah.
I'm down.
Right?
I'm down.
I mean, it's one of those ones like whenever I do a decade thing, I'm always try to put them on every now and then.
Mm-hmm.
But Austin, what do you
I'm
have?
very appreciative of that. Thank you.
Yeah. La La Land.
Jonathan, what do you have for 12?
Man, this is gonna be tough to rank, but I put BBS.
I knew you were gonna say that. I almost put this out of the way. I'm just happy to be here.
I don't have a board on me, but I was going to go BVS as well.
I knew you guys were going to BBS.
Jordan, what do you have for 12?
I went with La La Land.
No, of course.
No.
What do you think Malcolm's gonna vote?
Right?
I put the second here.
Whoa.
He's not gonna-
No. Absolutely not.
But this is tough, but I'm going to have to go with that because the other one I've got a bit higher.
He's not going to vote for La La Land.
No way. You nominated it. So.
Okay, there's a.
Yeah.
Actually, I'm looking at all of them. There's a clear number one now.
I mean,
There's a clear one.
but
was
again,
From
That was
clear
my
number
number
one?
12, so I don't
Is
know
there?
what to do now.
I don't think there's a clear number one. No.
For me, there's one.
These are all really good. I'm gonna.
They're all really
I'm gonna
good.
go for
Yeah.
it.
It's
Yeah.
one of the hardest rankings that I've done.
Yeah, this is going to be a tough ranking. I don't
Okay.
know where to go with a lot of these once you get to
Okay.
like the top 5 or something. I don't know.
Now, which one
Alright,
does not
um,
make the top 10? Okay, dang it.
Yeah.
Jonathan, what do you have for?
Hold on, I gotta think. Give me a few seconds for a moment.
Nope. You get
But I'm glad Batman v Superman got on the list. I got it.
Okay.
I
Here
got
we
it.
go.
I got
Here we
it.
go. Here we
Yeah,
go.
got it.
All right, Sicario.
Chad.
No, I'm actually fine. There's so many great ones on there. I'm actually fine with La La Land at 11. Oh, thank you. Now I can write them down.
Oh, there you go.
Came out of nowhere.
Yeah.
Nice.
You got to assist.
Harry,
Your baby,
Harry gave you
your baby threw it to you. Your
No, it's
baby
the
was.
cats. The cats.
You're on
are
the
right.
right.
Thank you,
Okay.
Cat.
Yeah.
All the Bob's Burgers.
Okay.
Nice.
All right, Jordan.
Jordan.
Oh yeah, I have La La Land.
Sticking with the social network, Austin.
Oh, yeah. I didn't change it.
Cool. Fine.
La La Land. Now where do I go? Fudge.
It's another
Yeah,
day.
I know.
of
Like, these are all really good.
I don't know where to go. Shoot.
You know, it's like that scene in Cars. It's like the closest finish in history.
Yeah, right. Oh,
Ugh.
But this one, I'm not terribly picky. I'll be happy with kind of any one
Yeah.
of these come up with. So I'm not terribly picky about this. I'm just, I don't know. We'll see.
I'm just curious to see what comments are going to say when I put the poll up tomorrow.
I don't think
Well, yeah, but I mean, whatever somebody says, like, what about this one? We said a lot of them in honorable mentions, so you could say that.
yeah,
you know what
yeah.
I mean? Like, it's like there's only
Yeah.
12 spots. There's a lot of good stuff.
I don't
so,
think they're going to
yeah.
be that many complaints.
Yeah, I think there's good stuff on here.
probably not.
Good.
Yeah.
Chad,
PBS, but
yeah.
Yes, it's
Chad,
great. It's a good movie.
I kind of just have a shot in the dark here, and this one I'm about to write. I love too, but I'm gonna try to see if it's number 10. I don't know.
Jordan, what do you have for 10?
I have the Social Network.
oh,
The social network, Austin,
Mad Max.
and Jonathan.
yeah, I can't switch my vote. I put Sicario.
Ooh,
The only dialogue is this the only
Oh, it's
dialogue
the
driven
Network.
opening?
probably.
No, it a little bit.
Kinda. Yeah.
Yeah. It.
Yeah.
I mean, honestly, I think when it's one of those ones like when it comes to the complaints, I think a big one that may come up will be BVS making the list, but no Avengers Infinity War.
Yeah.
It's a tough challenge. This was tough.
Yeah, no, I know.
Fudge.
Wait until we get to the 90s.
Yeah, right.
Oh my
90s.
Yo, bro, no, screw that. The 2000s, we just rattled off like 6 or 7 of them, just right off the
Yeah.
top of our heads. Not much less doing any research. I just rattled off a whole bunch of them. That like,
Oh, you know what? Yeah,
this
yeah,
one, this
yeah,
one,
that's
this one,
true.
this one,
That's
this
true.
one.
2000
Yeah,
I
I'm
think
like,
it's a
geez.
harder challenge.
Yeah, there's a
I'll
lot.
be honest.
Well,
Like
90s would be tough too.
I'll be
Yeah.
honest. Like this week, I didn't have as much prep work because a lot of storms came through my area, and I had no power.
Yeah.
And,
I think there's even in like a decent amount of 80s ones, I'd even say. So
Yeah.
But anyway, I've got Mad Max Fury Road, Austin,
Mad Max.
Jonathan,
Sicario.
Chad,
I guess it's gonna be Mad Max because I put Revenant.
And Jordan.
Well, I put the Revenant. So.
Oh shit!
So Jonathan, Mad Max, who wrote all the Revenant.
By the way, all 2015 movies.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's very interesting. Okay.
Both
When I
very
was in the
technically,
theaters,
both very
saw 'em all for
technically
free.
They're all
proficient.
very technical.
2015.
See, that's
Yes,
very
tech-
hard.
Yeah.
The Revenant.
Oh man, really? All right.
All right.
And I love that Revenant opening. So.
Mm.
I'll change my board a little bit.
He gave up on Sicario.
I might change-
Austin, what do you have? For
Don't
Mad
have to.
Max. It was almost there last time. It's got. That means it's got to be this time.
Jonathan.
I swear to God, if it's between Mad Max and Sicario, I'm gonna be mad. Okay, Ghost Protocol.
Chad.
No, I threw it on it again.
Well, I
Jordan.
threw out Sicario. You shouldn't have changed your vote, Jonathan.
Oh boy,
Mad Max.
I'm so. Oh, that's my number 2. Ah.
Yeah, it rules.
Yeah,
This whole list rules.
I know. It's a really good list.
I mean, the wild card be where would Chad go if it was between Mad Max and View? That's Sicario, though.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right. No, this is the perfect spot. This is the perfect spot.
Jonathan, what
Yeah,
do you have?
about this prep. It's not so much that like I had a good time watching some of the opening scenes. It's just damn, I want to watch the rest of the movie now. I, don't
I
have
know.
time.
Yeah.
Like
sure.
shit. I want to keep going.
There you go. Sicario.
These people don't want to finish.
Chad, what do you have for 7?
I was transitioning and didn't write anything down, and now I'm scared. Oh my god!
Want
No,
to recap real quick, or you have it?
I mean, you didn't keep It Division on your board.
oh yeah, that's right. It.
Okay. Yeah.
Jordan, what do you have for 7?
I still have Sicario.
I've got Ghost Protocol. Austin.
It's up to you, Malcolm. It.
Okay,
It's
these
gonna
are
be-
different movies.
Ghost
this
Protocol.
time, very different.
Yeah.
Not in my.
When it's up to him, he just types it out and then reveals
Yeah.
I know. Yeah,
It's
he's dramatic.
It builds the suspense.
it.
Yeah,
I know he's
definitely.
building suspense like a good opening scene should.
Yeah.
true. True. Hey, that's the perfect
Drum
way.
roll.
Ooh.
Well, wait a minute. It was between Sicario and It. You can't choose Ghost Protocol.
Yeah.
Oh, was? Oh,
Yeah.
So
Yeah, Sicario and It.
Oh, for some reason I thought that it was between.
No, it's 2
No,
votes for It, 2
Jordan and I-
votes for Sicario, and it comes down to
Let's
Malcolm. You
recap.
can't just pick
Jordan
Ghost
and I,
Protocol.
Sicario.
Well,
Oh,
Yeah.
no, for some reason I thought someone else went Ghost Protocol, that's why.
No,
What I thought.
Sicario and It.
Oh, he was excited, boy. He was like, I'm, yeah. He's probably gonna do Sicario. I bet.
Oh.
You're
No.
wrong.
Really?
Oh,
Ooh.
Okay. That was number 3. But okay. My list.
Now I gotta write something else.
Ah.
Son of a bitch, dude.
Yeah, that's my number 1 yet.
I don't know what to do.
Oh, I'm sorry. No.
Just to recap, we've got
Oh, sure,
Ed,
no.
got John McCree, Drive, Ghost Protocol, Sicario, Baby Driver, and Sky. Jordan, what do you have for 6?
Well, I have a rule. I don't vote for the same thing more than 3 times in a row just to switch it up. So I went with Baby Driver.
I went Ghost Protocol. Austin.
I'm fine with Sicario being number 6 if it makes that. It's fine.
Jonathan.
I'm just glad I got it on the list.
I'll just put GP, Ghost Protocol.
Wow.
Yeah.
And Chad.
I went to Sicario.
So,
So it's between Sicario and Ghost Protocol.
So George changed his vote. He originally had Sicario.
Yeah. So we really had Sicario. So let's Go with Sicario. Yeah.
Sicario.
Let's do that.
Yeah.
So you didn't need to change your vote.
Yeah, it all works out. Yeah.
Sicario actually would have been my number one.
Really? Wow.
Wait,
Wow.
what?
I
Even
thought I
including
brought it up.
La La Land? Really?
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
Wow. That surprised me. I was just happy I got it on the list and convinced people to say
Malcolm
yes
likes
to
to
it.
surprise us.
Yeah.
You know?
Because
Those are
I just
curveballs.
figured that was one that people didn't really think about that I thought about. So
Well,
okay.
I mean, it's
Cool.
one of those ones I didn't think about, but when you brought it up, I brought it
Yeah,
up
it's
on
pretty
my
great, yeah.
YouTube, and it, like, yeah. I mean, my number one would have been Avengers: Infinity War, but that wasn't as on
I
the list.
see.
Yeah,
I see.
but I've got Ghost Protocol. Austin,
Baby Driver.
Jonathan,
Yeah, this is going Ghost Protocol.
Chad,
I think we do have a brilliant top 5, and I'll put Ghost Protocol 5.
Dang
Jordan.
it. So we're gonna have a tie because I put Baby Driver.
But,
Yeah, the more that I think about it, there is a definitive one for me. Yeah.
I think looking at this list, I've got I know which one I'm having at number one at least. I don't know, but I don't really care about the other ones, but one.
Yeah.
Ever since it came out, I'm dead set on this one. It's the first thing I thought about when this topic.
Yeah.
Yeah, me too. I think we're thinking the same one.
Maybe, yeah, we'll see
It
what
might
happens.
be.
We won't spoil it yet. We'll see.
Austin, what do you have for number 4?
Baby Driver.
Jonathan,
Baby Driver.
Chad,
I probably would put it a little higher, but everybody seems to be thinking Baby Driver should be 4. It's still
Jordan.
4. That's great.
Yeah, it's in top 5.
Yeah, we're all thinking Baby Driver. There it is.
not me. I'm just thinking Drive.
Okay.
The other one.
Baby Drive is going to be 4.
Right. These are your top 3.
Jonathan, what do you have for number 3?
John Wick, Chapter 3.
Chad,
I think any of these 3 could be number 1 for me, to be honest. I don't have a clear one.
Yeah. They all could be.
But I put John Wick 3 as well.
Jordan,
I have Drive. Oh man.
actually scratch that because I changed my board without thinking. It's actually Drive.
Oh, Drive. You meant.
Okay, so tied up.
And Austin.
John Wick 3 at 3 makes sense.
Man, that's my number 1, guys. Come on.
Anticlimax. Okay.
So now you're voting for number 1 out of a Skyfall and Drive.
Yep.
Build mine. So
Oh, magnificent openings.
Yes, both great.
No, I'm just kidding.
Now that Social Network was like one of the 3 perfect openings. Shocked that was that low.
I'm changing.
It's a tough
And then
one.
I'll probably change again. This is
It's
tough.
Yeah, right.
Who gets the silver? Who gets the gold?
Yeah, that's right.
Is it going to be Driver or Bond?
Driver bomb.
But Chad, what do you have for number 1?
It was the other it was the other one, and then I put this one. I'm happy with whatever wins, but I put Drive.
Jordan,
I put Skyfall.
Skyfall, Austin,
The first thing I thought of in the scene that came to my mind, Drive.
So we weren't thinking of the same one.
Jonathan.
Well, let's build up the opening credits to rank them right now. No. We're in agreement, Austin. Drive.
There it is.
Right.
Yeah, that's the one.
There it is. That's it.
Wow, what a list!
It's the first thing I thought about with this topic. That instantly comes to mind is the opening draw. Ever since I saw it in the theater, I'm like, God damn, that's one of the greatest opening scenes I've ever seen. Period. Just brilliant.
Yeah.
Brilliant. Perfect from beginning to end.
Oh, there we go.
But with that, our top 12 opening scenes in movies of the 2010s. At 12, we've got Batman v Superman.
Yay!
Martha.
At 11, we've got La La
It's not in the opening.
At 10, we got The Social Network. At 9, we got The Revenant. At 8, we got Mad Max Fury Road. At 7, we got It Part 1 or 2017.
Hello, Georgie.
Whichever way you want to put it. 6, we got Sicario. 5, we got Mission Impossible Ghost Protocol. At 4, we got Baby Driver. At 3, we got John Wick Chapter 3 Parabellum. At 2, we got Skyfall. And number 1, we've got Drive.
There we go.
So that's the
Drive, yeah.
Waka waka.
Yeah,
so
right.
that brings us to the end of another episode of Rank 'Em. We'll be back next week, and next week's topic is going to be top 12 WWE superstars or gimmicks that you want to see a real or fictional biopic. I'm going to figure out a shorter way to make that title. But yeah, it should be a lot of fun. But Austin, where can people find you online?
Yeah, mostly alongside Jordan Anderson down there over on the Movie Hero Network. You'll see a lot of these guys on the panel pop up on there from time to time. Either co-hosting stuff or hosting Wheel of Movies or hosting Lonely Marks, wrestling podcast, speaking of wrestling, things like that. And then you can also find me a lot, especially this month and lately, over on Ryan Permison's channel. It's called And I Quote. We do a lot of anniversary watch-alongs. We just did John Wick for his 10th anniversary, if you can believe it. That movie's 10 years old already.
Wow.
That's kind of crazy. So we did the 10th anniversary watch-along the other day. And we're doing some other great movies this month, all with great opening sequences. Stuff like Speed with the opening elevator sequence. That scene's great. The opening Temple of Doom with the kind of Bond-ish Indiana Jones sequence where he's acting like Bond in the white suit. Or Last Crusade, the other Indiana Jones movie that also has an anniversary with the prequel opening sequence. Or Batman 89, which also has a great opening sequence. A lot of good stuff in there. So all movies celebrating anniversaries this year. We'll be doing anniversary watch-alongs for, and I'll be on there. So if you just can't get enough of me yapping and geeking out about movies, you can find me over there as well.
Jonathan, we can people find you online.
You can find me on social media platforms on Instagram, X. Instagram, X. Sometimes on YouTube, Letterboxd. I review a lot of stuff right there on Cinecaro, CINECARO. A variety of that. IG. I do reviews. I do my own tournaments as well. I'm finishing up summer romances. As far as other things going on, I think that's it. I think this month's June. Oh, right. I think there is something big coming out. Right. I think in your channel, but that's it for me. Thanks for having us on. This was a very civil, very fun discussion about opening scenes.
Yeah.
Let's go back and do it again and go back through the other decades.
Yeah, right. Yeah. Do it.
It'll be fun. It'll be fun. It'll be a good time.
Already made an all-time list on accident, so I got it ready.
Now all you gotta do is separate them by decade, Jordan, and just sort them all out.
Right. Yeah, exactly.
Decade by decade. And there you go.
Chad, where can people find you online?
I'm starting to make my list for the 2000s right now. I'm going to start right
There
now.
you go.
Casino Royale, Zombieland.
Don't spoil.
Oh, just kidding. Oh,
Every
sorry.
2009
Sorry,
movie,
sorry,
there's
sorry.
a lot of them.
You can find me over at I renamed my channel from Chadwick Webb to Cinema Chad, and we over there we have a ranking show called You Ranking with Me. We do a lot of rankings, franchises, directors, a lot of stuff. We've kind of been slow getting episodes out, but I'm slowly working on getting a couple more out, and then I want to keep doing it like more frequently. But we have a lot of stuff out there if you want to go back and watch a lot of the other rankings that we've done. I've had Austin on there quite a few times, having fun. And then I'm doing reviews and stuff on there as well coming up. And then check out Picture This. That's on the Dill Pickle Movie Network. Dylan does a lot of really cool stuff over there. Just anything like movie related, you can name it. He probably does it, like trivia, drafts, stuff like that. But I do picture this with him, and we're going through every Best Picture nominee there is that we can find. One we might have to travel to Los Angeles to see at some point because it's only there apparently. But we just did 1957, and now we're doing a whole retrospective thing for 2014. So we will be talking about a lot of great movies from there. Very excited about it. Also check out Welcome to Primetime. It's the horror show that I do, or it's a whole channel now, but it's a horror show that I do with my buddy Hunter Chambliss and my wife Carrie. And we talk horror, we talk Buffy the Vampire Slayer, we do a lot of fun games sometimes, and just have good discussions. So check that out, please. And Letterbox, all that stuff you can check out as well. And thank you. This was fun as always. Love Rankum.
Jordan, we can build on you online.
Well, for some reason, whenever I do a show with you, Chad, I just can't help but think of that Family Guy thing. You probably know the one, the Teen Choice Awards with featuring Chad Michael Murray, Chad Chadinson, C. Chad Von Chadwick, just going on a bunch of Chads. That needs to be like a intro video to your channel or something. But you can find me over on the Movie Hero Network, all things Movie Hero. So on YouTube, you can find us on all the social media, Movie Hero 2121 and then. We also run the Movie Hero Network group on Facebook. So if you have anything that you're working on, any kind of like project, any kind of like a YouTube channel, you're free to post your heart's content over there, and we'll share it out, and we'll hype you up. And then we do a lot of trivia. We just really did the first inaugural the Seen and Heard Music Trivia last night. That's over on our Patreon, but. Watch it for free. I decided I'm going to leave the first episode for free. So I posted links all over all the social media that you can find, and you just go to patreon.com/movie hero, and you can watch that for free, and you can see how well you do at music trivia. Because some people did great, some people not so great, but it's just fun. There's no pressure. We just have fun listening to great music from movies and TV. And then we have another trivia match coming up. That's going to be our certified fresh match. That'll be the all movies that are rated 90% and above on Rotten Tomatoes. So if you'd like to play, just let me know, and we'll put you on. We don't have a set date yet because we're going to just schedule around everyone's schedules and make sure it works for everyone. So we got that. And then just what we have coming up this next week or so on this, we'll tell you that we will be doing actually on Tuesday we'll be doing Malcolm Lay's top 64 TV shows, so he'll be featured for that. And then Friday we'll be doing more TV. We got a TV week going on. It's going to be best TV shows from 2018 and 2019, so you can catch us there.
But you can find me on Paper Productions, where I host Rankum every week. Next week is the WWE one that I talked about earlier. You can also find, and as Jordan said, you can find me popping up on Movie Hero Network this week for my top 64 TV shows and 2018 2019 shows. Also in the works, I'm looking at doing something more for my own personal channel. More information about that will be coming about a show that I am planning. It's going to be definitely wrestling themed. That's all I'm going to say at this point in time. But but that is the end of Rankum for this week. And just keep watching movies.